So, now is your time to make battle plans for how you're going to approach this place. I will say that it's surrounded by a wall, so you're going to have to go through the front gate. And this is the drive.
Guessing is...
This is like the drive leading up to the mansion.
Okay.
And then this is the gate here.
Okay.
And last time you were there were 4 guys standing in front of it, guarding it. But you need to tell the men what the objectives are, what you're trying to...
The objectives. Oh, wait.
And then, so Captain Malon has also traveled with you, as well as Dr. Rigwald. They've both come along.
Yeah, they're good.
So they can fill you in if you forget.
Okay.
Let us finalize our plans.
Because the objective is...
Well, we're collecting evidence.
Evidence.
And so there are things...
Everyone must be arrested.
Yeah. There were things that we wanted to capture the case or whatever. That we're going to prove that he was...
He was a bad dude.
A bad guy, yeah. Like there was that priest corpse I wrote down. Statue.
Yeah. A skinned pope in the foyer.
Yeah.
And there was the statues in the garden.
Right.
As well. And you already took the wig.
That were pretty much cursed.
And then you know that they dragged that guy off somewhere. Behind a locked door with 2 guards. The one who was dressed as Marie Antoinette. They got whipped. And then you went and saw what happened in the ballroom with Diedrich Zahn, the dwarf, and then the woman that he's with. Fenwick asked Diedrich to play the music from Beyond, but Celine saved him from that. Or whatever that means.
So... And we're only worried about this one level.
And then... Yeah, so there are like 4 floors, but I'm just going to focus on the first floor because I don't want to print out 4 maps. So
and what about the basement?
And then, well, so I do have... Well, first off, you don't know that there's a basement. For sure. You haven't been to any basement.
No.
But
a house of this size, I would just...
I mean...
An age.
If there were a basement... You know.
Which I'm guessing there is because of a house's size.
Then I might have a map for that. Well, I'm just going to draw on this map.
On this one?
Yeah. Because if there were a basement, it wouldn't be very large.
Okay, well, there's the main entrance and then this carriage area in the back.
Yeah, those are the only 2 entrances.
So once we get past the front gate, I think we're going to have to send some of the soldiers around to make sure that nobody gets out the backside. What do you guys think about that?
Nice, but also maybe some of them that are back there, maybe they could also go inside.
And then
just an idea.
They're going to go inside, but they're going to go in from the back while the rest of us go from the front.
And then you can issue orders to all those units, or you can delegate. So you could give Victor a command of like a group of guys.
Right.
Or 2 groups, or 3 groups, or however many. So you don't have to control them all, or order them all.
Right. Yeah, that sounds good. I'll send you around back with the 2 groups.
Yeah, after we get through the front gate.
We get through the front.
Did you say if?
Well, we don't know what we're gonna find as far as firepower. You know, we look like we're
Yeah.
strong here, right?
And then,
Going into unknown.
so after your plans are finalized, the scouts return. Their faces are pale, their expressions tight. Sir, we've seen something strange. Throughout the day, the Comp's footmen have been driving animals through the gates of the mansion. Horses, mules, cattle, pigs, sheep, deer, even dogs. They handle them roughly, ropes around their necks, whipping them to keep them moving. He swallows hard. The beasts do not want to go in. They dig in their hooves, rear and cry out. It's like they know something waits beyond those walls. Their lowing and howling set our hairs on end. Another scout steps forward. The people of Poissy shut themselves in early. Doors bolted, windows shuttered. Even the tavern was closed. The whole town is gone still. It's like the air itself is afraid. A grim silence settles over the camp as the implications sink in. You gather the men. Campfires are doused. Gear is packed. The forest is left still behind you. You call out names, separating the soldiers into their respective squads. One to take two to take the rear, and the rest to come in straight through the gate. Orders are barked in hushed tones, maps are passed between hands, and final blessings are offered beneath breath. When all is ready, you give the signal. And the column moves. You march out of the forest and towards the Comp's mansion, under a sky thick with omen and gathering dusk. As the sun dips below the horizon, the raiding parties move into position around the estate. From concealed spots among the trees and hedgerows, you watch as shadows stretch across the Comp's twisted mansion. The air is still, and a strange hush seems to settle over the grounds. Then, without warning, the silence is broken. A chorus of animal screams splits the twilight. Horses, pigs, sheep, dogs, all crying out in terror and agony. The noise is terrible, inhuman. On the driveway in front of the mansion, footmen in stained livery hack at the tethered animals with cleavers, axes, and long knives. Blood pools quickly on the gravel as heads are struck from bodies and tossed into waiting carts. No effort is made to prepare the livestock for consumption. The bodies are not butchered, only defiled. The footmen carry the severed heads into the mansion, one by one, disappearing behind the warped doors. Once the slaughter is complete, they throw sawdust across the blood-slicked driveway, covering the mess in a thin, rust-colored blanket. The carcasses, limp, broken, and still steaming, are dragged to the back of the property. There they are heaped in a grotesque pile, left to rot. The last squeal dies away, and night has fallen. Towards midnight, the first carriages begin to arrive. Each coach is halted at the gates by the Comp's grim-faced footmen, who allow only one vehicle through at a time. The guests disembark in silence and approach the mansion. At the threshold stands Comte Fenelick himself, dressed immaculately, his expression unreadable. He greets each guest personally. As part of the welcome, the guests remove their wigs and are handed freshly severed animal heads. Some are still warm with blood. A few guests hesitate or recoil in disgust, but Fenelick's gaze falls upon them, piercing, and one by one, they submit. With the heads in place, they fall to all fours and enter the house, braying, barking, and squealing in mockery of the creatures they now resemble. Coach after coach arrives. The ritual repeats. Shortly after midnight, all of the guests have arrived, and the main doors are shut. The footmen, their duties finished, lounge on the front steps. They pass bottles, light pipes, and lay bets with low laughter. So, at this point, you're going to have to tell me when you want to start the raid. And I'll tell you what happens until you do.
What's the time raids are not stealthy?
By 1 a.m., the mansion has become a madhouse. The aristos have given themselves over entirely to their base instincts, transformed into creatures of pure appetite and aggression. All the furniture has been shoved to the corners of the rooms, making space for the debauchery to unfold. From your vantage point, you see them scampering from chamber to chamber on all fours, smeared with food, shrieking with laughter or snarls. Bedding and banquet fare have been thrown across the floor. Guests eat like beasts, mouths buried in bowls, tearing into bread and meat with their teeth alone.
They're not eating with forks and spoons.
Soon, they begin to embody their assigned roles. Dogs form packs and harass the sheep, biting at their arms and legs. Mules bellow and bray in hysterical laughter. Deer flinch and dash, ever hunted, through the hallways. They fight and mate with abandon, clawing and mounting in open displays. Only Fenalik remains upright. He moves calmly from room to room, untouched by the chaos, a shepherd to this blasphemous flock. He strokes their heads, watches their frenzies with cold amusement. You track him through the mansion's windows until you can no longer. At times he steps through one doorway but never emerges on the other side. He vanishes inexplicably, as if the walls themselves obey his will. In the ballroom, the madness is more subdued but no less unsettling. There, Diedrich Zahn stands miserably at the center of the floor, still clad in his ghastly Delphine costume. A red apple has been wedged into his mouth, making him a silent, pitiable centerpiece. By his side stands Celine Bessette, dressed in a pale angel's gown, her expression calm and wonderful. Her hand rests gently on Zahn's shoulder, as if trying to shield him from the worst of what is to come. And you can all three make me spot hidden rolls as you're watching, from your vantage point.
31. My spot hidden is 32/13.
I got 70.
Well, I got 31.
So
74.
you pass.
I did not pass. My spot hidden's 32 and I got a 34.
Oh,
Alright, I gotta get lower then. Right?
Yeah.
I only missed it by 4.
All right. Well, Christoph Pressy. Among the writhing mass of guests dressed in animal heads, something far stranger catches your eye. Not all the figures crawling through the halls are men. You swear you see an actual wolf, its red eyes gleaming in the candlelight. And more impossibly still, a tiger, sleek and low, its movements too fluid to be imitation. Just glimpses, darting between rooms, but enough to make your blood run cold.
Weren't they in the forest? Didn't we see those in the forest last time?
Did we?
No,
No.
you did not.
We have not ever seen these before
You've
then.
never seen a wolf
Or the leopard.
or a...
Come on. Tiger.
Tiger. Okay. Alright. Do you think that they...
Yeah, I told them that.
Okay, you convey that.
I swear that some of these are actual animals.
Do you think they're turning
swear-
into animals? That's what I
I
was...
don't know.
That they're just... Their bodies are being taken over? Of course, there wasn't a head of a tiger killed out there. Or a wolf. But maybe these are just two animals that are within the house even. Came from somewhere, from a basement or something. I don't know either.
So Captain Malon turns to you, Sergeant Renaud. I think it's time, don't you? They're all here.
Yes.
Let's let them know.
Yes. Let's move forward.
Okay.
The signal is given. A sharp whistle cuts through the stillness of the forest. Then another.
How'd you know?
Lanterns are unhooded. Orders shouted. Boots pound the ground as soldiers surge from their hidden positions. The raid has begun. The footmen react. So, alright, now we're going to actually be in combat here.
Yeah!
Yes!
Finally!
So, Victor, you are the first to act. So you can issue orders to 2 of those units.
Which is now I'm guessing that would be from the ones from the far left.
So you just tell me what you want them to do.
I want
This
them
turn.
to go diagonal kinda towards the footmen.
You want them to advance.
Yes. Advance!
Alright, both units?
Yes.
Okay, don't move them yet.
Okay.
And then you'll advance with them on your turn. You'll move up with them, right?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Grandmother, you're the next.
Okay.
What do you want your 2 units to do?
Well, I'm asking my captain, is that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Sergeant.
what do you want me to do? Because we know where you're going.
Right. He's gonna go around the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rest
I'm
of us
just
are gonna
having
go
to
through
get
the
through the
front, and
walls
then we'll split up
first.
when we get
Okay.
inside the house.
Right,
Okay.
you first gotta get through these 5 guys
Yeah.
guarding the gate.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Okay.
then...
So, what are your orders, Joseph?
Advance.
All right,
Straight ahead.
Susie,
Yeah.
Theory, Sergeant Theory. What are your orders?
We're moving forward. We're advancing.
Okay,
So we're all advancing.
I mean, we're all
so
going the same way right now.
Yeah, that's right. Because
Yeah,
you
we
got
kinda
to
have
go
to,
forward before
so
you can
that
go to the
We
edge.
can actually get to where we're all
Yeah.
going in the different parts. Mainly just the 2 entrances. The only 2 entrances.
Right.
So what happens is one of these guys. Wait, sorry, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Starts running back towards the house, shouting, "Soldiers!" And the other 2.
Ooh, they. They cut it.
That doesn't look very smart.
yeah.
Because
They charge right up,
yeah,
and they're
look,
gonna start. And they charge with knives and whips,
Okay, leave
and they
not
try
way
to
too
just
smart because
take as many as they can.
we got muskets. They got only knives and whips.
The ball.
So
Yeah, Jeff.
the footmen charge in,
Okay, they're.
which you were not expecting.
Yeah, I wouldn't have
And-
expected
Yeah.
that.
They end up killing 3 men in this line. So that I'm gonna put 3 little hit markers to tell you 3 guys are dead.
Yeah, because that's going to be a bad
I
death.
went
'cause
sticky
they,
ass finger.
they had
There we go.
knives and whips.
So yeah, they just start stabbing and whipping. Disorientation among your men.
Okay, well, when.
And then it is now the soldier's turn.
Okay.
So, the ones who are currently engaged are going to fight back.
So my.
Which I said would be this and this. These 2. Right there.
And my guys are going to
The two up front and
Fire!
the
Fire!
Well, no, they're using bayonets.
Oh, they're using
At this
bayonets.
point, they're so
Okay.
close, they're going to
Oh.
stab them with bayonets.
Okay.
And you already issued your order to advance, so they're not ready to fire.
Yeah.
So,
Can't do both at the same time.
they actually, so yeah, those two units that are getting attacked both use their bayonets, and they easily overpower these guys and kill all four of them.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
We've
Because
lost
they're just
three.
so outnumbered.
We've lost 3 men, though.
But
So after that-
the rest of the footmen will probably hear.
Now you,
It's, you
your
know,
issues, your orders kick in, so. But you're gonna have to navigate this gate now. It's gonna slow you down. So, with that,
I think
we go Captain Malon, and then, okay. Oh yeah, also, I guess, technically, Dr. Walt is also there. But he's staying in the back.
yeah.
He won't get hurt. So, we're going back to Victor.
Fire! Like this one over here.
Okay, you're gonna fire at this guy running away,
Yeah.
This one right there? Yeah.
and yeah, he gets lit up as he gets struck by 5 different muskets. 5 shots going to his back as he's running away.
Oh my.
We got rid
And
of
so
it.
you cannot fire with those guys for 4 more rounds.
Yeah, because reload.
It's gonna take them 4 rounds to reload, but you have to issue the order to reload next turn.
Yeah.
But
So be
now,
prepared.
So really, it's 5 turns.
Yes.
and now, are we going to be able to work on getting through the gate?
Yeah.
That's the next hurdle, right?
So, what do you want the other guys to do? Advance?
Yeah, the other guys advance, or try to advance through the gate because,
Alright.
yeah.
These guys move through the other guys.
And then as if I will be advancing.
And,
And
so,
then you can move yourself now.
and the gates
30.
are, the gate's down, right?
Yes, the gate's
Yeah.
open.
Gate's open. Okay.
You have control of the gate. Oh, and I forgot I could do this. So yeah, they go fire. No, that's more of a cannon.
Oh, I love that.
Maybe
I love that.
no, that's an explosion. Okay, but yeah.
Wow.
And then grandmother,
Yes.
Joseph,
Right there.
you're controlling the 2 on the right.
Yeah, I'm right.
These 2 units, grandmother.
Oh, okay.
What do you want them to do?
I want them to advance. Yeah.
Okay, well they're gonna have to wait for Theres to advance first.
Okay.
And Theres, your
Yeah.
orders?
Yeah. Keep
Advance?
moving forward, yep.
Alright. Alright. So they move up. And
Ultimate line.
then the footmen start to pour out of the front door.
Oh, because they heard the.
Yeah, they probably heard the musket shots and the screaming, so.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Plus the whistles, so yeah, that would definitely
Okay.
cause some attention. And when I mean by some, I mean a bunch. They probably see us all from afar.
Well, they heard your musket shot.
Yeah, but I mean like where they're at right now.
Yeah, because we're not
Well,
that
you're-
many feet away.
Yeah.
5, 10.
Yeah, you're like 70 feet away, 75 feet away, or something. Less than 100.
Yes, less than 100.
Yeah.
Well within range of the muskets.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 10 guys come out. And then Victor will issue orders again.
So I tell them to reload and them to fire.
Okay, so these guys start reloading.
But we gotta wait 4 more turns
Yeah.
before we can fire a
And
shot,
they
right?
fire. 3 of the footmen die.
So
And the
which
firing.
3?
Whichever 3 you want, honestly. Just a grouping, yeah. Those 3.
Yeah.
Boy, that's some good sound effects.
Yeah.
I like that. That sounds real.
Woo!
And then, Joseph, your orders.
Forward.
Going forward, I see.
And then, Fairy.
Forward.
Alright. The footmen advance. And then 10 more
Come out.
come out.
Oh boy.
That's what I say, oh boy.
Victor, you've got to order the others to reload as well.
Yeah, I tell them to reload.
Okay. And then the others spend their turn reloading.
Yeah.
So,
Takes
Joseph,
turns to reload.
Mine are reloading.
you haven't fired.
You haven't fired a single
Oh.
shot
You've
yet.
just been advancing this whole time.
That's right. That's
But you
right.
might want to shoot right now.
Keeping track of your
because-
soldiers.
Okay.
Yeah, you might want to shoot right now.
Okay. Ready.
Do you
Aim.
want both to fire or just one?
I want them both to fire.
Alright.
Oh boy.
Massacre them.
Oh.
Fire.
So yeah.
That's a good sound effect too.
Damn!
How much are hit?
9 drop
Oh!
in your opening
Nice.
volley.
You want these, or just take them off?
How much are those?
5,
1, 2,
6,
4, 5, 6.
7.
and these 2 guys in the back. See these guys? And they just seem to charge at you with no regard for their own life.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
They charge right into the firing line of the muskets. And then, Terry, your orders.
I'm gonna have one group fire,
Alright.
Which group will it be?
and the other group move forward.
One group fire, one group move forward.
5 more get
Oh my gosh.
obliterated.
Oh.
And then musket fire.
Man, that's only got 3 left.
Oh my, we're all, that's currently out right now. You probably have some more. Probably.
Alright. God, you've killed so many already. I'm losing track of how many we've killed.
Well, there's only 3 right now that
So-
are currently outside.
I think
so
we've killed 20.
Okay.
20 or less.
Alright,
Because
perfect.
we did the 5 guys in the front, and then 10, and then 5 more. Yeah.
Alright, so these 3
We're going straight through them.
run up,
We are mowing them down.
and 5 more run out the door.
I'm surprised that they keep on coming and coming because they are hearing the screams.
They're mindless.
Okay.
But doesn't it make you
Sure,
wonder
they
how
are
many there are?
mindless.
That's what I'm wondering. How many of them are there?
Yeah,
So, Victor, your 2 units are reloading. You could fire as well if you wanted to. On your turn. As yourself. With your own musket.
oh yeah.
Or you could wait
Yeah.
till you get inside. I mean,
Oh.
it's up to you.
You know what? I will be firing at one of them.
Alright, move yourself up into a firing position.
So like right there.
Back by your guys.
Back.
No. Or where the line is. The front line.
So where the front line is.
Nope.
So,
Yep. Nope.
There you go.
Alright, so close, Victor.
oh my.
But yeah, right there. Okay.
So
So roll your firearm skill.
Okay, so it would be these two, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Making sure. 50.
That's not a pass.
Yeah.
What is your firearm?
42.
42? Dang. You miss. And now you can't fire unless you reload for 4 turns.
Yeah. That says enough what I will be doing.
Alright, Joseph.
Reload.
You're gonna reload.
And I'm not gonna fire. I'm gonna save it for closer.
For close range.
Mm-hmm.
And then Theory.
I'm gonna have my other group fire that didn't fire the last time
Alright.
while the others reload.
4 die in the volley.
Oh my.
And then these last 4 guys, they charge up,
They advance.
Ah!
screaming as they do.
Well, he didn't put any more new ones out, so maybe this is it.
And then,
Probably not.
so everyone has fired, everyone is reloading. So at this point,
We can only
Joseph,
bandits.
you can move up and fire at them if you want to. Or, I mean, that's really all you can do. Your men are busy reloading now.
I'm gonna hold back.
Okay. Theory?
I guess I can try to fire him. See what I need.
Meanwhile, there's like a bunch of smoke.
Yeah, it's starting to get
Fail!
choked out. Alright,
I'm on rolling big numbers today, I guess.
so everyone reloads.
Pretty much everybody's reloading right now.
And then they move up.
Again. Might try to whip us and attack us again.
They get close.
Yeah, you know what?
Well, is this shooting range or bayonet only range?
You could shoot.
Okay.
I mean, that's 15 feet.
Whose turn?
So it is now Victor's turn. Him and his units
I
Okay.
don't think that
Your
they're fully
units-
reloaded though.
are not. No, they're not.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. They can advance while they're reloaded. While they're
Well, actually,
reloading.
one of yours is ready to fire.
Oh wait, which one? This one?
Yes.
Okay.
So you need to move them up into firing position.
Fire!
Three.
Ooh.
3 of them.
Oh, he does that just so good.
And I don't know how I do it.
I was gonna ask you, have you been practicing?
No, I've not.
Okay.
I think it's kind of just a talent now.
There you go. God-given talent.
And Joseph.
I'm going to take him out myself.
Alright. You gotta roll firearms.
Oh, I hope it works.
Which is going to be 30%. If you're 30. 14.
14.
Yep. Oh, now you gotta roll damage, actually.
Okay.
1d10 plus 4, so it's... you rolled a 1 plus 4 is 5.
Okay.
Which injures him, but he is not dead.
Well, now you know what we could do with him.
Sherry,
Stab.
it is your turn.
Or either we can capture him as
There's no time to discuss
wait,
it. You're in
Oh,
battle.
okay.
Okay. Well, nobody can fire at this point in my group. So.
They are in the middle of reloading.
Yeah, so
Unless you wanted to do a bayonet charge.
Oh, didn't know that was an option.
Well, they have
Because we're
bayonets
close
on their
up-
muskets.
Because we're close now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're within movement
15
range.
feet.
Yeah. Okay, let's try that.
All right.
Oh my. Cruel.
Sir, do you
Cruel
think we could use him
movement.
better as a hostage to give us information on the inside?
He's
We
dead.
kind of already.
Belly is cut open by the spine.
He's been slayed.
His guts
Okay.
are spilled out.
All right. No. Okay. Not an option. Not an option.
So,
Well,
at
those
this
are some
point, what?
good rolls.
The combat is over until you enter the mansion.
Oh yeah. Let's see.
So it just acts like that we kind of just moved a bit forward.
Yeah, all the guys. You get your guys in the back. And they all.
If I fired solo, do I stay in front of the man or go back to the back?
Well, at this point, you can be wherever you want, as long as you're not inside the mansion.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is you. These three guys.
Yeah, this guy, yeah, these are mine. Because remember, I'm supposed to be at
Yes,
the back
at the-
to make
at
sure
the
that
back
nobody
door.
escapes.
Yes.
And also, as to what that comes in, a strategy, well, a strategic upper hand because we're charging in from both sides. As in,
Oh,
which means
yeah.
we can meet
Okay.
at like in one of the rooms in the middle part. Like eventually.
Man, there's a lot of. Who are these? These are the bad
Footmen.
guys.
Footmen.
So, these are the guests.
Oh, that
Wearing
are.
Oh!
masks, as well as servants.
Ooh.
Oh!
You're now going to have to clear out the mansion of enemies, but we'll also have to arrest people.
Like, we'll have to arrest as many as we can.
So you're going to have to identify these threats as you walk into the room, basically.
Yeah, but if they do attack us, we do have legal force to kill them, right?
And at
Like
this point, I
if they
say
do try
all
to
your
kill us.
muskets are reloading. They've reloaded.
Okay.
Victor?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I gotta give you. Okay, so yeah, you're gonna be able to go first, but this time you're just worried about yourself. Okay.
Okay. So I just control myself for now.
Yes.
Okay.
So, Victor, you get to do what you want to do now.
Kinda just move forward a bit. Me and my guys a bit.
These guys are gonna stay out here,
Oh.
and they're gonna make sure nobody escapes.
So,
But these guys are gonna go in with you.
so,
Oh, okay.
All right, these guys move in with you. And go ahead and make me a spot hidden roll.
okay, there are my days right here. 63.
And your spot hidden is?
My spot hidden is 65.
That's 93, honey.
Oh wait, what?
That's a 90 out of 60.
Oh,
Isn't it?
confuses me.
Yeah.
Okay.
06 is not 60.
My brain saw it as like the other way.
It's all right.
I
So,
know. So, yeah,
all right.
missing.
So you don't see any threats as you walk in. Now,
Not yet.
Joseph,
Okay.
you're gonna have to move through the front door unless you break into the window and climb through the window. You can do that. Okay. But otherwise, this is the only entrance over here.
Yeah, I don't see.
If you
Okay.
want to go in, you'd go in through
And-
here. Just FYI.
Yeah. Okay. So these three guys are coming with me.
Yeah.
I was thinking about coming through the window because I was gonna come in and have them flank this group right here.
If they're not supposed to be the people that we
Well,
arrest.
they're gonna have to walk all the way around unless they follow you in through the window.
I think since I'm here, I'm going to go through the window and they're going to follow me.
Okay.
Okay.
So I need a spot hidden from you as you go to the window to smash it out.
Okay. I made it. Spot hidden on me is 70.
All right.
So I'm in.
No.
No, that was just to break the window.
No.
Oh no.
That's just to see who the fuck you about to get killed by, Grandma.
Oh.
Because there's 2 guys in there
That are frontmen.
that are threats.
Okay.
So you've spotted them. Do you still want to proceed through the window?
Well, we're too much of a target to do that now that
What do you want to do now? You've seen them.
I could go in the front door. I don't know. Yeah, I'll go in through the front door. Can I shoot through the window?
You can shoot through the window.
Okay,
Yes,
I
you
want.
can.
I want to shoot through the window.
All right, roll firearms.
56.
You miss. It hits the glass and ricochets to the side, completely missing,
Okay.
but breaking the window.
Okay.
And then
Combat doesn't initiate.
Theory. You get to move now.
Okay.
You should do what you want to do.
We're just gonna advance towards the front here.
You can just put yourself at the front door and walk in.
Okay.
And then roll spot hidden for me.
What is my spot?
It's bibbidi bobbidi boo, that's what it is.
32. No, I failed.
Alright. The guy who you just shot at, he's gonna jump through the window and try and tackle you to the ground.
Yeah,
And
I figured that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Should have never had that window broken.
So, he's gonna need to make a jump roll first off.
And it's this guy right here in front of the window.
Okay, so yeah, he launches through the window at you. And he's gonna take some damage as he does it. As he gets cut by the glass. And he tackles you to the ground. And is now on top of you with a knife in his hand. After that, your soldiers
Okay.
are going to try and save you.
Okay.
Alright, let's see what they can do. You gotta roll under 50. The first one... Oh, well, I guess he's gonna try and... Okay, yeah, the first one fires and misses. The second one, however, runs up and sticks his bayonet into the guy and kills him.
Okay. So I'm back up on my feet. And he's out.
2 guys charge and attack him. They're gonna try and whip him. Alright, you take 2 damage
Okay.
as they strike you with whips. Okay, and then someone breaks the window. Next up is Victor again.
Yeah, I'm gonna do another spot and hoping that I'll see you. 89! Ooh.
You can also move up.
Yeah, I will be moving up
These
also.
guys will move up with you. You're up, Joseph.
Okay, so I've got to send somebody around here to get this one as we advance
Oh, and this guy also moves.
to the window. So I need him to go around there and the 2 of them to take care of him.
Move yourself. Wherever you want to go.
I'm gonna go with one of my guys this way.
Okay. You can only move a limited
Oh.
amount.
Only
that's
move
right.
7. You can only move 7. Oh, well, as in of, you can only move
Okay, so I
7
can go-
cubes, as in of counting, as in of, well,
Each cube is 2.5 feet on this
Right,
grid, so
right. So
you would
5,
go
10, 15,
5, 10.
20, 25, 30, 35. Okay, that brings me here.
No, you're right here because you were in front of the window.
Oh, I had to move. Oh, you're counting that.
Well, yeah, I'm counting from where you started. Yeah, Grandma. Uh-oh. We gotta play fair? Aw, shucks.
Yep, okay. All right.
Okay. Make me a spot hidden too.
the scene
Well,
is
actually,
a
don't even
thriller.
bother. You don't need to.
Okay.
You can see immediately
So, flip it over.
that this person
Footman or not
is
footman?
this woman that you saw with the dwarf.
Oh.
But her in cuffs.
Then, Terry, you can move. And you want? What did you want these two guys to do? Did you say?
They're gonna
They're gonna take care of this guy.
they're gonna
right?
take care of this guy right there. Yes. Okay.
Terry.
Okay, well, I've got 2 guys in front of me, right?
Yes.
So-
You're gonna need to bayonet them or
Yeah.
pistol them or something.
Okay. Well, do I have to roll to bayonet them?
Yes.
What am I rolling? What am I looking for?
If it isn't on there
Oh, would it be
specifically.
sword?
Yeah, that would work too. You have a
Okay.
sword. Yeah, I forgot. You also have a saber because you're an officer.
Yeah.
So you can just use that. You don't even have a rifle, so you don't have a bayonet.
30, I passed.
And then I will remind you guys that you took pistols.
Okay.
You do have, so you have an extra couple shots.
Okay. Okay. That's good to know.
Okay, so yeah, you attack him and then roll damage. +1.
3.
So yeah, you pull out your saber and cut the guy a little bit. Not too bad. Next up is the footman.
Da footman that we have well detected.
So the footmen attack Theory again. And you take another 3 damage. And then the one footman tries to jump out the window as well. Towards the soldiers at the window. He succeeds. And he tackles one of them to the ground.
Oh no.
And then
Does the other one get a chance?
your soldiers, yeah, they attack back. Ooh, that's good. Alright, so they, where is it? Okay. You hit him with the bayonet. Ooh! And they kill the guy.
Okay, another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust.
And then
Another one
the soldiers
bites the
behind
dust.
Theory are gonna try and take shots at the guys attacking him. Ugh, one misses. The other misses. Oh, there's 3. The third one. The third one hits.
Yes.
Another one bites dust. Another one bites dust.
And this guy actually just passes out.
Ugh.
This guy, he falls unconscious from the pain. At this point, you see this person, and you see it's the dwarf and the woman,
Yes.
and they come up to you, and they start pleading for you to let them go.
Can't do. Sorry.
Please, the Count has been keeping us prisoner. You must let us free. We have nothing to do with these animals.
Well, where have you been captured and held at?
They keep us locked up in the estate. They won't let us leave. They dress me up as the dead prince. to make jests. Celine, she is just a prostitute. We have nothing to do with this. Please, let us go.
Well, you're staying here. You're going to help us with this battle, with this siege,
He
and to
doesn't-
help gather
he doesn't-
evidence.
Oh.
Evidence. We need your help to gather evidence. So if everything plays out and you help us secure,
I'm not going back in there.
at this point you're going to do what I tell you to do.
They make a run for it. They start running from you.
Well, we capture them.
Alright, so you order your men to arrest them,
Yes.
and they do.
Yes, because it's an investigation. Everything has to remain here.
Okay.
So,
So I'd say these two guys are now tied up
with them.
with them.
Okay.
Bringing them
Yeah,
back.
legally they can't leave unless they're told to leave.
Yeah, and when it's an investigation, you have to keep all the evidence, whether it's things or people, in the same place.
Or well, more of in the perimeter of
Yes.
where it's going on.
Exactly.
Alright, so Victor,
Yes.
you can move now.
I move once over here, and then even though I know that I can move 7 spaces, I'm only gonna move once.
Bold choice.
Yeah.
So this guy, he's gonna arrest this person. And these two move up here. We're just gonna reveal these two guys.
Whoa, I see how you're thinning them out now. That's a good thing.
All of you going up from maybe the sides, or like you, or pretty much on the side over there. And as in of my mom going up from the main door, main entrance. So as in of limited spaces of work they can leave, like try to escape.
Right.
It limits it very, like a bunch. Like a bunch.
Alright, Joseph. What's your move now?
Okay. We need to get in the house.
Yeah.
So,
So you want to go back to the open window?
yeah.
Or break
Or-
this window and try to climb into
Yeah,
it?
let me just, because it's closer. Yeah, let's do that. So I can move up to 7 times. So,
Well, you'll spin your turn breaking all the glass out of the window.
Oh, that's
here,
right.
So you can make sure you don't slice your arteries open and die.
that's right.
But this guy can move
He
through
can
because
go
the glass is pretty
Okay.
broken, and he arrests this person.
Oh, good. See, now.
We're risking a bunch of people.
Yeah, we're getting a handle on it, aren't we? We're doing good.
Yeah.
And then in theory, you need to defend yourself from this
Yeah.
last guy.
So I'll use my sword on him again. Let's see what was my sword. I'm trying to get under 35. Fail. 87.
All right. The footman attacks you back
Man, we gotta get rid of that dude.
and does 1 damage with a whip. He's trying to whip you, but he's right up close to you, so it's not working so well.
Yeah, dude, just use your knife.
No, not all of them have knives. Some have knives, some have whips. The soldiers are now going to do their thing. So the two that have entered and gotten behind that guy, they're going to try and take him out with a bayonet. One of them is able to land a hit. 3 damage plus 1 equals 4. And they kill this guy as well.
Last footman down.
This guy is arrested. He's the only surviving footman who gets arrested.
Oh, so we can use him for
Information.
Info. Along with these, the midget and the other dwarf.
Little person. So,
Little Timmy.
God, there's just so much going on here. I'm getting lost. I'm not gonna lie.
Emotion.
Okay.
My turn.
Captain Malon.
No, Captain Malon. Okay.
Okay. Now it is Victor's turn.
Okay.
Okay, so
And then the guy that has the one prisoner, does he just come out here and drop him off like by these soldiers? Okay.
That was good.
So he would just walk over there and drop him off.
Yes. Okay, yeah, he drops him off. Well, yeah, and then this guy's arrested. So
Another one.
those two guys over by the door, I forgot to roll them. They attack those soldiers. They both land their hits. And one of them is pretty badly injured. They both get sliced up pretty badly. But they attack back with their bayonets. But they're not very effective. And they're not able to really do anything back. They're just overwhelmed by these two guys.
Until a third one comes and joins.
So, Joseph, sit on the chair properly. Joseph, you're up.
Okay, I'm in. I need to go in.
And you can move.
I can move when I go in. Okay.
Alright, Theory. You're still at the front door.
Yeah, I'm gonna move forward, I guess.
And you can make me a spot hidden roll from where you're at.
45, and that is a fail.
Doesn't surprise me.
Sometimes the numbers are good, and sometimes they
Like
are.
They're
he's
not good for me
blind.
today.
It's like he's blind.
Okay, well, in that case, here's what's gonna happen.
I just gotta say that this map is so well done. I can't even hardly see where it's put together.
Yeah, I can see where it's.
Yeah, these guys start charging in. The guys that were guarding this door here.
Oh, okay.
So, when you snuck into this place, by the way, you snuck in, I think, here. And this is because you were in the dining room. That's where you saw a lot of the stuff. And then you saw the blood trail of them dragging him into
That
this
direction.
area behind that door. And then the soldiers, seeing those guys, they're gonna try to do a bayonet charge into them. And they kill one of the guys together. These guys all get arrested.
Oh my gosh. Hey, we're this getting house cleaning time.
So it's back to you, Victor.
So I can lean right through the.
You can try and shoot past those guys.
Yeah, I will try to shoot that one right there.
Alright, roll firearms.
19.
That's good.
Now roll damage.
Okay, and that would be
Look at your
D8 plus D4 plus...
D8 plus D4
One.
plus 1.
10.
So 10. Yeah. 10 damage against that one right there.
Okay. So that guy... I have to do a constitution check here. And he succeeds. See how you shoot him. It takes it in the stomach.
Ooh.
That'll be a slow, painful death.
But he's not dead yet.
No.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna make that groaning noise for him.
periodically,
All
right?
right.
Because
That's
it'll
the
be
sound I was making this morning on the toilet.
okay. Okay. We need to.
That is the ballroom.
Yeah, that's the ballroom. We need to clear that and take care of these three.
All right.
So roll.
So you can move yourself up there.
Okay.
5, 10, 15.
I know.
20.
I'm trying to think where I'm going to go. If I'm going to jump over and come over out here. See, I think that's what I'll do. I'll go right there in the middle. There we go.
Next, Theory, you're up.
Okay. So we got one
One guy in there.
guy in there.
You have
I guess I
two
could-
pistols.
I guess I can try to shoot him.
Oh, what locks?
My handgun is 45. 24.
All right.
Ooh.
Okay.
4.
All right. You shoot him. Hits him in the shoulder. And then the soldiers go about. Well, I guess yeah. Those other two attack him as well. Again. Yeah, and then he hits him with a bayonet. And it is just enough. Oh wait, no. No, it is not. That's the wrong guy. Yeah, they cut him a bit. Slices across him, but not into him. And then I'd say that other guy can definitely take a shot at him. And that would be a hit. Nope, that's a miss. He misses. You're up again, Victor.
Okay, yeah. I pull out my pistol. I try to shoot him again.
Alright, roll firearms.
22.
Ooh.
Then damage.
3, so then 4.
He falls unconscious from the shot. Joseph.
Okay. I want to take out this one and this one.
You don't even know. No.
They're aristocrats and servants, just FYI.
You
We're
arrest
just getting
them.
arrested.
You
Okay, I will
arrest
arrest them.
them.
Okay.
Not shoot them and kill them.
Okay.
Arrest.
Alright, yeah, arrest
Arrest. Gotcha.
them. Then, Perry.
Well, I guess we still need to take that one guy out, don't we? Or is he passed out? No.
No, he's
This
still
guy's
there.
still there. Okay, I'm
Okay.
gonna try and... Oh,
Staying
I
on.
can't shoot again, can I?
I think, do you have two pistols or one?
I just have one pistol and my saber.
I'd say you took a second one, because everyone else took an extra pistol.
Yeah, just in case.
Oh, I failed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got the loaded dice over there.
I do.
Alright.
These soldiers are gonna have to take care of him for me.
Okay, so yeah, the footmen are going to attack one of the soldiers. Buddy misses. And then that one back there attacks that soldier. He hits him. And he does damage. This man is shanked to death by this guy.
Oh.
Oh no.
And, okay, and that guy's out of gun. Alright, and then the soldiers are going to attack back. Whoa. these 3 guns all gang up on this guy. And it takes all 3 of them to finally kill him.
Ah!
And then that one next to Kristoff is going to attack. And he misses. And he gets attacked back. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my gosh, he dies too.
Bruh.
Or no, he's actually still alive. He's actually still alive. He's on 2 hit points.
Oh my.
Alright.
So this is a dead comrade.
Yeah.
Do we put another thing
No.
on top of that? No, we don't. Okay.
Those are just for the groups
Infantry or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, the group, the infantry.
So far, you've only lost 4 men in this raid.
Yes, that's.
Out of 50.
Not a bunch.
Oh, that's what I'm
And
trying
you've
to keep
killed
up.
30 of the footmen.
Okay.
So it's going very well for you guys. But you had every advantage, so it should be going well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, you are up, Victor.
Okay, yeah, I shoot that one.
With your second pistol?
Yeah.
Alright, roll. See if you can hit him.
53.
It's a miss. And then you are up with Joseph.
Okay. So we've got a.
Man, what is with it? I just realized your name Joseph. Is your brother's name?
Yeah.
You always get everyone in your
Joseph.
family is in this game, I guess.
Yeah, Joseph.
Luis, Joseph, Glenn.
My dad's his name was Joseph too, and I have 2 brothers whose middle names are Joseph.
Yeah.
Well, Patrick's middle name was Joseph. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I want to arrest this guy.
Okay.
He's unaccounted for. So spot hidden.
No, you just arrest him.
I can just arrest him. So
They
can I
don't put
just?
up much of a fight.
Can I do a double stack?
Yep.
Okay. Good.
And then Theory.
Man, we don't have very many more to get.
No, we don't. I guess we'll just move and start arresting people, huh?
That's
Yep.
what I'm thinking.
Except for that one right there that's
Okay.
killed a comrade.
Let's see if they can take him out.
Oh no.
Well, this guy.
This guy,
door?
he's still alive.
That is a door. Yeah, he is.
Okay.
So this
Yeah,
guy
that guy would move forward.
is gonna try and shoot him. Come on, you should roll under a 50. Come on now. 98.
Bruh!
The other guy tries to bayonet him. 7. Hell yes.
Right.
And he's only on 1 hit point, so he dies.
Oh.
That's a good one. That's the last breath of life, I'm telling you.
Alright. So with that, this guy is also arrested. So 2 of the footmen got arrested.
Yeah.
And all of the aristocrats and servants.
Yeah, pretty much everybody's being arrested. Yeah, pretty much everybody now has been arrested. Minimal casualties. There weren't a bunch of casualties.
That was very good.
Gladly.
We did good.
Yeah.
And all the soldiers
Are now advancing
move in
to
and clear
inside
out, and they go upstairs and
and
make sure there isn't anyone hiding upstairs.
Okay.
just smoke everywhere. Just smoke everywhere, like around.
Alright. So, I'm gonna now describe the battle overall.
Okay.
So yeah, the footmen flung themselves with unholy zeal, whips cracking into the night air, knives flashing in torchlight. Some charged headlong in the musket fire, howling with laughter or screaming curses. They fought like madmen, without discipline or fear. Black powder smoke clouds the air,
There we
at this
go.
point choking you as you breathe in. Blades met bayonets and screams rose on both sides.
Mixed with smell of blood would not be a palatable.
Not a pleasant.
Fragrance.
not a
So the
pleasant
soldiers
smell.
push through the grand entrance, stepping over broken footmen and shattered glass. Inside, the hallway is lined with enormous, half-empty troughs of wine set directly on the floor. The smell is overpowering, fermented, foul, and cloying. And some attempted to flee down the side corridors, others threw up their hands in surrender. A few fell to their knees, weeping in relief, mistaking you for rescuers, which is why they were so easy to arrest. The servants stood frozen, their expressions slack, wide-eyed, as if waking from a dream, a deep and terrible dream. Buckets, trays, and tools slip from their hands, clatter on the marble floor. And then in the ballroom, Celine helped Diedrich over the windowsill, and you arrested them as they attempted to flee into the garden. And as the last of the footmen are subdued and nobles rounded up, the chaos begins to settle. There is no sign of Comte Fenelic. The soldiers sweep room after room, checking closets and corridors. They find drunken guests, collapsed servants, piles of animal masks, and filth, but not the Comte. His chambers are empty, his bed unslept in. There is no trail, no blood, no sign of struggle. It's as if he vanished into the very walls. And make me an intelligence check, Joseph.
20.
You recall the heavy cellar door, locked tight during your sweep.
Are you waiting on me? Yeah. Where is it? Is it this one over here, or is
This
it
one I'm guessing you're talking
Yes.
about?
there? Okay, right there.
That one.
Okay, that's the one. I'm going in.
The door is locked.
You could shoot it off.
Hey, bayonets ready, muskets ready. Can we pry the hinges
So
off?
far, you're by yourself,
Yeah,
trying to
so-
open the door.
Yeah, like you haven't
Okay, well, we have,
announced yet.
we get a servant, or we get a footman.
What do you do? Don't. There's no we. You're you.
There's-
You're your character, acting as yourself.
I'm gonna
Unless
By
you-
yourself.
I'm gonna try to get that sucker open.
Okay.
That's
You
what I'm
could try
gonna
to
do.
shoot it off.
If I
Give
can't,
me a strength, a hard strength.
six.
Dang. Surprisingly, yeah. You just get this burst of energy and you just
Adrenaline.
kick that door right in.
Hell
The
yeah!
door splinters open with a crash.
Woohoo!
And from the darkness below, a wave of misery and rot rushes up like a breath from hell itself. Even the most hardened... Oh, well, it's just you by yourself, so you recoil. Captain Malon notices you kicking the door in, and his face grim, he nods for a contingent of men to join you. And at this point, do you both get the word? Since she didn't bother to tell you guys, Captain Malon comes and gets you.
So yeah.
And tells you,
So yeah, does
Check
our
the
men
basement.
come too? Like the men that were following us?
there, I will, let's see how many men follow you. A contingent of 5 men follow you down there. So, yeah, Captain Malon, now it's for a contingent of men to join you. Torches are lit, weapons drawn. You take the lead. The stairs descend steeply, slick with moisture and old blood, into a lone stone corridor, lined with rusted cell doors. Some are ajar, others hang open, revealing horrors within. The first cell holds a corpse broken on a wheel, limbs shattered and twisted at impossible angles. The next, an iron rack, its occupant reduced to bone and rags. One grotesque pairing shows two bodies lashed together at the wrist and neck, one in a bridal veil, the other in scorched ceremonial garb. Near the end of the hall lies the most recent victim, the man who had played Marie Antoinette, still clad in a red gown, now soaked through with blood. His flesh has been flayed with whip marks. At the far wall stands a chaise lounge, ornate and unbothered, positioned for an unbroken view of the chamber. It is here that Finlick would sit, watching, savoring as his victims died slowly in agony. The room is death. The stone itself weeps with it. I need all of you to make me sanity checks.
Oh,
I was
no.
gonna say, when are we gonna get to sanity?
Okay, those of you who pass, you lose 1 sanity. You're going to lose 1d8.
1d8, so this is 1d6.
Yeah. That's a 4. That's an 8. At the end of the hall lies the final chamber, and the most terrible. A grisly tableau has been arranged against the back wall. Corpses are chained there, in overlapping rows. Their limbs twisted and interlocked into grotesque, unnatural shapes. The angles and placements seem deliberate, as if the bodies themselves are forming symbols or a language not meant for human eyes. Long, narrow coffins serve as tables, lined along the walls. Upon them are unfurled scrolls covered in Arabic script and horrifying illustrations, detailed depictions of skinning, torture, and ceremonial mutilation. The ink seems almost to move under the flickering light. A small shelf holds a row of thick tomes, all bound in dark leather of uncertain origins. One stands out, a pitch-black book with brass bindings and no title on the spine. It radiates unease. Above, the ceiling is pocked with dozens of small holes. Their purpose is unclear, but their presence is unsettling. The air here is colder, heavier. The dread is physical. In the center of this chamber stands a porcelain figure, tall and smooth, catching the light with a sickly, oil-slick shimmer. Its features are blank, and yet each of you see something different. The face of a lover, a mother, a friend long dead. Perhaps you see the king, or even yourself. But no matter who it resembles, the statue's gaze is the same. Pitiless, ageless, a mockery of all that is human. Make another sanity check.
70. I got 70.
Got a 4.
I failed.
You fail, Victor?
Yeah, you failed.
Yeah.
So you're going to lose 1.
Okay.
Grandma.
Okay. And this is
And
sanity
you
again.
are both going to lose a d8.
A D8. Okay.
This is a D8.
Yes.
Making sure.
6.
3.
Make me an intelligence roll, Susie.
30. Last
Success.
I lost.
What is your Cthulhu Mythos skill on your sheet? Probably 0. If it might not even be on there.
Where would it be? Under skills?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have one.
Add it,
Okay.
and you have 5% now. So you're temporarily insane right now. Okay. You have a new phobia now.
Okay.
You are now phobic of being underground.
The fact we're underground, pretty much.
So, you suddenly feel an intense urge to leave. And you're gonna have to fight that urge. At the base of this porcelain statue, a dark red liquid pools slowly. It drips in thin rivulets from the statue's feet, seeping into the floor. Make me a listen roll, all of you.
Two, 0, 0.
98.
Oh, I got 23. That was a pass.
I got 2, 0, 0.
From within, impossibly, you hear a faint moaning, as though someone or something is trapped inside. Then the air shifts. Smoke begins to vent through the small holes in the ceiling,
Uh-oh.
flooding the room in a creeping haze.
Nope. Nope.
The soldiers behind you sputter and cough, their torches flickering wildly in the thickening air. And I need you to make me constitution rolls.
Everybody?
Is this supposed to be death gas?
84.
75.
Is it a pass or a fail?
Oh, it's a fail for me.
18.
That's a fail for you too.
Yep.
You pass? 18 is definitely a pass. So, both Theri and Kristoff, you double over coughing as you're choking on this smoke. And then, as it began, the smoke dissipates. And standing behind the soldiers
Kristoff.
is Count Fenelek.
Fenelek.
Yeah. He does not look like what I expected.
Well, he looks like a French aristocrat.
I don't know what a French aristocrat looks like.
Well, I'll show you what he... Well, you have his picture right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what he looks like. That's what an aristocrat looks like, with a powdered wig. There is no sound, no flash, no cry. He is simply there. He stands still for a breathless moment, his eyes burning with unnatural light. Then, with a snarl, he lunges at the nearest soldier with blinding speed, faster than any man has a right to move. The soldiers shout and stumble back. One raises a musket too slowly.
Ah!
Fenelek is upon them. Behind it all, the statue moans louder, now a long, mournful wail that trembles through your bones. And we are now in combat.
Yeah, I just imagine everybody turning around. Like, oh, what would they?
We only had the battle to have the battle.
Yeah.
So Fenelek is the first to go.
The final boss.
And he attacks the soldier nearest to him. And he just grabs him by his throat and starts crushing his windpipe. Victor, you're the first to act. Behind you, the statue moans louder. The smoke has dissipated.
Yeah, I go right there and then shoot at
Fenelek.
Fenelek. Yeah.
You're gonna shoot past the 5 guys at Fenelek?
No, what? No. Never mind. I'm gonna try to get, like, closer. So it's not if I was originally right here or something.
You can't move past them.
Oh,
It's too tight. That corridor is too tight. You cannot get past those guys.
okay. So then I try to go as... I try to...
So what else could you do?
Okay, so...
Question, I thought Fenelek came in this room and wasn't in the corridor.
The smoke came from the ceiling above you, entered the hallway, and Fenwick appeared behind the soldiers.
Okay.
What else could I do?
What else is in the room with us?
That moaning statue?
Yeah. Do anything with that?
What if I were to shoot?
Sounds like somebody's trapped inside of there.
Yeah, you know what? I take out my musket and like try to like hit the statue.
So make me a brawl. Fighting brawl.
So I got 17.
Oh, that's a pass. That's yeah.
Pass. 1d3 plus 1d4. This is a 1d4. The 1d3. This is a 1d3. No,
There's no 1d3.
Oh.
The 1d3 is the d6.
Okay.
You just 1 and 2 are 1, 3 and 4 are 2, 5 and 6 are 3.
1 and then 3, so and then 4. 4 damage.
All right. So you crack. Yeah. In a moment of desperate clarity, you raise your weapon and smash the porcelain figure. With a deafening crack, the statue shatters. Its legs and arms fly off in jagged shards. The torso splits, crashing to the stone floor. The head rolls away into the shadows. And at that precise moment, Fenwick lets out a scream that shakes the chamber. His limbs snap outward at impossible angles. His body twists backwards, bones bending and cracking as though broken. All at once, he crumples to the floor, writhing and screaming, his voice raw with agony. He is no longer a threat.
Yeah, Fiddle definitely came from hell then.
Captain Malon comes running down the stairs with more men. And he shouts over the ringing silence, "Arrest him!" They move quickly,
I think
binding
he's dead,
Fenwick's
sir.
limbs with chains and heavy manacles. No, I didn't say he's died. His
I said
bones
I
are all
think.
broken.
But yeah, though.
He's screaming on the floor, writhing in agony. A dead person doesn't do that. So,
I'm thinking of real life. I said what would happen, wasn't I?
yeah, he orders you to arrest him.
Okay. Just acts like I'm carrying him.
And he offers no resistance, incapable even of standing. Still writhing, he moans senselessly as you drag him towards the stairs. "Take him outside," Malon commands, his voice hard as steel. Then he turns back to the horror-filled chamber. "Gather everything. Scrolls, books, instruments, all of it. Leave nothing." The other soldiers move in, pushing over the long coffins and collecting what they can. The unfurled scrolls, the brass-bound tomes, the blood-slicked torture tools, and shattered fragments of the porcelain statue. The dark liquid still glistening on the floor, disturbed only by the scraping of boots and wood. "Leave your bodies. Let this be their tomb." Captain Malon casts one final glance around the chamber, and then he nods. "Seal the door." Torches are extinguished. Chains clatter shut. The cellar is left to darkness once more. Upstairs, the remaining soldiers are herding prisoners out into the night and stripping the mansion of paintings, clothing, and anything that might serve as evidence. 2 men cautiously carry the skinless Pope, doing their best not to touch it directly. More enterprising soldiers try and make off with barrels of wine, but Malon catches sight of them and roars, "Confiscate it! All of it! No trophies!" Satisfied that enough has been gathered to damn the comp beyond redemption, Malon turns to Dr. Rigaud. "Put it to the torch. Let the fires return this cursed building to hell."
Whoa. That's how it got.
As you carry Fenwick away in chains, He continues to scream, long after his voice has given out. His mouth still moving, soundless and broken. So you carry Fenwick away in chains as the mansion is being set aflame. You take him back to Versailles. You march him back, throw him in the, I guess, the back of a cart, because he can't walk himself.
Right.
So, Fenwick's guilt is unquestionable. The horrors uncovered beneath his mansion, the bodies, the scrolls, the unholy rites, have shaken even the hardest of men. But the Comte is noble by birth, and under the laws of France, execution is forbidden. However, Fenwick's madness is complete. Since the night of the raid, he has spoken no coherent word, only muttered or shrieked in forgotten tongues. He cannot feed himself, does not sleep. His eyes dart about, always searching for something beyond the veil. In the weeks that follow, Dr. Rigaud conducts a thorough examination. The evidence gathered from the house is laid before the king's deputy. Books bound in human skin, scrolls inked with rituals and diagrams of torture, bizarre artifacts of obscene function. Fenwick is brought in, chained and hollow-eyed, a shadow of the man who once ruled over midnight rebels. So, I assume you all are there for when he's brought before the king's deputy as the arresting officers. Rigaud clears his throat and speaks plainly. This man is incurably insane. His condition renders him unfit for trial or execution. He must be confined permanently. The king's deputy does not argue. He gives a grim nod. Fenwick is to be committed to the Charenton Asylum, to remain there for the rest of his days. The guards seize the broken Comte and drag him away. He does not resist. As they pass through the chamber doors, Dr. Rigaud allows himself a smile. It is not relief, it's triumph. He turns to the table and begins carefully gathering up the scrolls and books, stacking them with reverent precision. His gaze lingers on the heavy black volume bound in brass. For a moment, he studies it with a puzzled frown, then nods slowly. Pick that one up carefully, he says to a nearby servant. Bring it to my study. We will learn what secrets it holds. The door opens again. A new figure is brought in, thin, sharp-eyed, his expression unreadable beneath a dusting of white powder. The king's deputy announces his name. Honoré Francgonard, the anatomist, called to account for the grotesque construction known as the skinless pope. Francgonard does not bow. He stands tall, arms crossed, unflinching before the gathered officials. You made this abomination? The deputy asks. As you leave, you hear Francgonard give a faint snort. I do not dress my figures. I sewed it naked, as is my custom. It was the Comte who clothed it in blasphemy. So you leave as your business there is done. Each of you regain 1d10 sanity points.
3.
Alright. You gain 3 sanity back. Up to your max. If it's above your max, you're at your max. In the weeks following the raid, and the sentencing of Count Fenwick, the royal couple returned to Versailles. Their return is quiet, marked not by fanfare, but by mourning. Marie Antoinette is pale and distant. Her movements measured, as though every step carries the weight of her grief. Louis XVI, shattered by the death of the Dauphine, is more withdrawn than ever. He holds no counsel, he makes no firm decisions. With France on the edge of upheaval, he turns instead to the voices that surround him, the nobles who whisper in the salons, the ministers who flatter in the halls, the queen's inner circle of confidants and favorites. The king does not lead, he listens, and the tide of revolution begins to swell. Captain Malon summons you to Versailles. He meets you in a quiet corridor outside the Hall of Mirrors. His expression stern. Everything is changing. The National Assembly is set to meet on the 17th. For days they will debate, and it is expected, likely, that the third estate will be formally recognized. He looks you over, gauging your reaction. It means the common people, the tradesmen, the soldiers, the poor, will finally stand as equals beside the king and the church. Not everyone wants that to happen. I may have needed you again. On the morning of June 20th, orders come down from the king himself. You are summoned again by Captain Malon, this time not in whispers, but with the full weight of royal authority behind him. The Salle d'Estat must be closed, by command of the king. The hall where the National Assembly is meeting, where the Third Estate has gathered to fight for equality and recognition, is to be shut, barred, guarded. You are the ones assigned to do it. By mid-morning, you stand outside the great doors of the Salle des Etats with fellow soldiers. The assembly has been adjourned by decree. The delegates arrive and find the doors locked. They demand entry. Tensions crackle in the air. Every word, every glance might ignite a spark. The fate of France is trembling in your hands. Each of you now need to decide whether you carry out the king's orders and deny the assembly, or whether you stand aside, or whether you join the ranks with the Third Estate and force entry. So do you follow your orders,
I'm following my orders.
stand aside, or join the ranks of the assembly, of the Third Estate, rather?
I'm gonna join the ranks of the Third Estate.
What about you, Victor? What would... I mean, your beloved is at risk, because she's a noble. So do you follow the king's orders and side with the aristocrats and the nobles? Or join the Third Estate with the peasants, and the soldiers and the workers? Or just simply stand aside? What would Christophe Pressy do?
Well, because since, you know, the love of his life, the woman that he loves so much, I forgot her name, what's his name? Melody, which is a noble, he's gonna stick with the king's orders.
Alright. For a moment, no one moves. The delegates stand firm, faces flushed with righteous anger. Some plead, some shout. One weeps openly, fist clenched at his side. Ferry, Christophe, you and the other soldiers hold your ground, muskets ready, expressions grim. Captain Malon says nothing. A terrible silence hangs in the air, thick and suffocating. Will the soldiers yield? Will the assembly step down? The breath of a nation is held still. And in that instant, it seems as though time itself pauses, waiting to see which side will break. The door remains barred. The assembly does not fight. At the suggestion of one among them, the delegates retire peacefully to a nearby tennis court. Some soldiers trail at the distance, uncertain but no longer hostile. There beneath the open sky, the delegates take the tennis court oath. They swear not to disband until a new constitution is established, one that grants fair and equal representation to the people of France. It is a moment of history, a non-violent declaration, a promise of solidarity, a line drawn in the sand. Among the crowd gathered to witness the event, you recognize a familiar face, Dr. Rigault. He steps forward, raises his hand, and solemnly takes the oath himself. In that moment, he turns away from the crown and pledges his allegiance to the people. The standoff is over, but the seeds of the revolution have been sown. The days after the tennis court oath are uneasy. Tensions in France continue to rise. Whispers become shouts, and the people grow restless. Across the city, soldiers begin to desert the royal army. I assume you take the oath as well, Grandma.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Many choosing instead to join the newly formed National Guard, a civilian militia swearing loyalty to the people rather than the crown. They wear the tricolor cockade, blue, white, and red. They are not alone. In barracks and alleyways, in markets and cafes, talk of revolution burns hotter with each passing day. In response, the king replaces many of the guards posted throughout Paris with foreign mercenaries, Swiss and German troops who owe no allegiance to the French people. The streets bristle with tension. Then on July 12th, Finance Minister Jacques Necker is dismissed from his position. Word spreads like wildfire. Necker, the people's minister. Necker, their advocate. Gone. Panic turns to fury. Rumors abound. The king is raising the army. The army will move on Paris. The army will burn it all. Barricades go up. The people take to the streets. Something is about to break. The flashpoint comes at last. July 14th, 1789. At 1:30 in the afternoon, the people of Paris rise. A mob of revolutionaries march upon the Bastille, an ancient prison, an armory that looms over the eastern quarter of the city. They are in search of gunpowder, shot, and a symbol of royal tyranny to tear down. Among the defenders stand the Swiss Guard, those still loyal to the king, including Thierry and Christophe. They hold the walls, grim-faced and uncertain, their muskets trained upon the oncoming tide. But in the mob below, shouting and pushing to the front, is both Michael Bowman's, Carl's character, and you, Joseph Hugo. You who chose a different path, who now fight for the people. You see each other, recognize each other. The moment balances on a knife's edge. Then, the assault begins.
What?
Oh my gosh, Christian.
Alright.
I haven't seen that in years.
What is this?
This is the Bastille.
The Bastille?
Yes, an approximation of it.
Okay. Cool.
Look at this.
You're gonna be the first one I shoot.
For this.
I got more to put up here.
He's been
I'll
busy.
hold off.
Hey, giving me an extra 2 weeks, man.
Oh! An actual cannon!
Cannon!
A single cannon.
So, in this battle, you outnumber them 10 to 1. Or 100 to 1. They have like 100 men in total. You have thousands. But they have 3 times as many cannons as you. That's how it was historically. So,
We're gonna get to do another battle.
first things first. The 12-pounder cannons of the Bastille fire into you. 2 guys in this line get hit by a cannonball, taken out, or just ripped apart as the thing flies through them. And then, Victor, you see Joseph down below, and you have an opportunity to shoot at Joseph.
Okay, where's the other dice? Oh, crap!
Whoa.
Good thing it's empty already.
Didn't know you were gonna get so excited about getting to shoot Joseph.
Well, he knew it was
Hey,
coming,
you're a
though. He knew.
43. 43.
Alright, what's your firearms?
My firearms.
For would it be rifle?
Yeah.
42, man. You just
Yeah.
got
One off. Oh no.
Yeah, Joseph, you look up and you recognize a face up there. It's, oh my gosh, that's Christoph Pressy, and he shoots at you. And the musket just hits the wall beside you, not right next to your head. And you're just
I'm
shocked and appalled.
deafened with the sound of it.
So, the soldiers of the Bastille fire into the group, into the crowd. And another 2 men.
Oh my
Half of
gosh.
these guys are dead now. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh. 2 more die. I missed 2 dice.
Oh my
6 of the
gosh.
8 are dead.
Oh my gosh.
And next is you, Joseph.
Yes.
You see Christoph up there. You can shoot him. You have the drop on him. He's up there. He just tried to kill you.
Hey, you deserted. That's pretty much the reason why.
Well, you're fighting for the love of your life.
Yeah.
You are motivated, highly motivated, and
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that.
You can talk about it after.
Oh.
If you survive.
Yeah.
If you survive, you can
Yeah, not right now.
hash it
Okay.
out then. But right now, you got to decide. Are you going to shoot back?
I'm going to shoot back.
Roll your firearms.
That didn't go very far. Okay.
Oh my.
My firearms are...
That's a 90, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure
is
that's
it?
90.
It's a 96.
So
You're
that's a miss.
that's a miss.
That's
Yeah, you fire back, but your shot's nowhere near hitting.
Yes.
Freaking Callie. Hold on.
She's like a child. Yeah, this I'm gonna enjoy this
Yeah.
more than the other battle
Yeah.
because we're
Alright, so the soldiers on the ground fire back. But the soldiers of the Bastille are behind cover. However, that doesn't save 3 of them.
oh no.
Then Theory. You look down, you see Mikael Bowman's, Kyle's character. You have an opportunity to shoot him.
Okay. Well, I don't have a rifle.
You have 2 pistols.
I only have pistols. Yeah, I have 2 pistols. Okay. And I missed.
Alright. The soldiers of the Bastille fire again. But this time, there's only 5 firing. And 3 more. So this unit, is destroyed entirely. These guys.
Oh.
So Mikael Bowman's, he is going to, he looks up, he sees you, Sergeant, he sees his old sergeant up there, and he just fires his musket into the air, because he can't do it. And then the soldiers on the ground attack the Bastille. Oh my gosh.
I'm just doing a bunch
And
of chaos.
all the muskets miss. Another couple soldiers shoot. And miss. They hit the walls. And then the final grouping of soldiers takes a shot at the Bastille. And 3 of the soldiers on the Bastille die. The afternoon finishes in smoke and fire. After hours of gunfire, blood, and smoke, the Bastille falls at last. At 5 p.m., Governor Bernard René Delaunay surrenders the garrison.
Whoa.
And Theory and Kristoff, you're both kind of upset about this. You think we could have won if that coward hadn't surrendered when he did. That's how you feel about it. So he's taken by the mob, beaten, killed. His severed head is raised high upon a pike and paraded through the streets. Many more heads will follow in the years ahead. As the defenders lay down their arms and the people surge into the courtyard, Joseph, you climb the broken ramparts. From the top of the battered tower, you raise the tricolor flag. Blue, white, and red ripple in the smoky air. A new France has been born.
Oh, goodness. Nothing flat. That's okay. Front door.
In August 1789, the National Constituent Assembly delivers the promise of that new France. They publish the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen, a shining document in the history of democracy. It begins with a thunderclap. Men are born and remain free and equal in rights. The nation exhales, if only for a moment. The Declaration speaks of liberty, property, security, and resistance to oppression. It declares the rights of the people to participate in law, to speak and publish freely, and to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. The aim of all political association is the preservation of the natural and imprescriptible rights of man. These rights are liberty, property, security, and resistance to oppression. Law is the expression of the general will. Every citizen has a right to participate personally, or through his representative, in its formation. Free communication of ideas and opinions is one of the most precious of the rights of man. The moment feels like a victory. For one shining instant, it seems the revolution may give birth not to chaos, but to a better world. And that is the last thing you read as you close Captain Malon's journal. You have finished reading it. And you're now your regular character is in 1923.
Back to 1923. Okay.
Yeah, you guys are back at the Balmoral Hotel in your room, in one of your rooms. I guess you were all reading this together.
Mm-hmm.
So how do your characters react to this story, to this journal? What do they know now that they didn't know before?
Well, now we don't know that Count Finlick was probably from Heck.
Well put. Well said. Boy, no kidding. We also know that, that surrounding this whole thing at the sanitarium is some continuation, I would say, of that.
What is your main goal? Remember?
We're trying to find the
Set up car scrolls. that what we're looking for?
Those, yeah, the
I'm trying to
pieces.
go back and look at my notes.
The scrolls were another thing.
Oh, a different thing.
It's the
We're trying to
Sedefkar
find the
simulacrum.
pieces of
Simulacrum.
the simulacrum.
And what was the Sedefkar simulacrum?
The death card simulacrum.
What was it?
It was a statue, right?
Yes.
Oh,
And we're
That's
trying
right.
to find all the pieces of it.
scattered across
Correct.
the continent.
Yeah. The continent of Europe.
So now, reading this journal of Captain Malon, you know that.
One of the
That
pieces
statue
is that.
was what you broke, man.
Yeah, you know that Christoph Cressy broke that statue in the basement, and the soldiers carried the pieces off.
Used it as evidence.
So that's another lead you have now. That basement.
Yeah, but where would the pieces be at now?
Well,
Since they were
you'd have
used as
to
evidence.
look at the thing that her butler wrote down. That says where all the pieces were scattered. But you know, you're pretty sure that there's a piece in France somewhere.
Yeah.
So,
So we need to go to that
burned out.
So, Ma, what about all these
Because
pieces?
remember what they did? They locked the door afterward
Yeah.
and chained it.
And we could just shoot the doorknob off.
Yeah.
Since now we got guns.
Got
Real
our guns.
guns.
Got our guns, real guns back, yeah.
And then also, you know that the Comte was sent to Charenton, the asylum, which you've already investigated a little bit.
But not a bunch.
You knew that there was a crazy patient that attacked one of the orderlies,
A crazy psychopath.
but you came to a dead end, you know, unless you can somehow get to speak with that orderly.
And the only way to get to speak to that orderly is that if one of us is committed.
Well, which orderly is it?
His name was... I can't remember, I have to look it up.
So if one of us goes in as a patient.
His name was Guimard.
Guimard. Well, how would one of us go in as a patient? Well, yeah, I
Well-
know how we would do that, but...
Because
we've already discussed this before. We have already discussed this before, I'm pretty sure.
No, we have. But we want to go, I think, first to Phenolix.
Getting committed, a referral would help in that regard from another, if you knew any other doctors. Or if one of you, she's not a doctor, she's a nurse, so I doubt that would work. But otherwise, you just, I don't know, act crazy, I guess. Do something. Get yourself committed.
And the reason we'd want to be committed is so that we could go down into the basement. Seems like all roads lead to basements right now.
Yeah, but...
Shall we go to Phenolix first? Check it out?
Sure. And you just shoot off the door.
So, you don't actually know specifically where the estate was.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But your only lead, I guess you'd have to do more research to figure that out.
Have to go back to the library.
You know it was in Plessy. You know that the estate was in Plessy. So, perhaps, make me an intelligence roll.
85.
18.
That's a fail.
15 for me.
You have a good feeling that, or you think to yourself, if they had records of where the estate was, it would most likely be at the town hall in Boissy, if it hadn't made its way to the National Library. Otherwise, you could go back to the National Library, the Bibliothèque, see if you can find something else there. So those are your three options.
Well, we have to narrow down where those pieces of that statue went after the night that they were confiscated and were taken off to Yeah, we're gonna have to go to
Poissy?
Guasi. That's where we need to go.
Are you all in agreement with that?
Yeah.
You make your way to the Gare Saint-Lazare, one of Paris's great railway stations, where the steam and smoke of departing trains mixed with the crisp winter air. The station is bustling, platforms alive with businessmen, travelers, and a few wary soldiers returning home from service. Your tickets are purchased with little difficulty, and soon you board the train bound westward for Poissy. As the train chugs to life, you watch through frost-laced windows as Paris slowly fades behind you. The elegant buildings give way to smaller homes, and then to open fields dusted with snow. The suburbs of the city slip past rows of chimneys, factory rooftops, and the occasional church steeple rising above the clustered houses. Soon, the landscape becomes wilder. The train enters the Forêt de Saint-Germain, a vast woodland that looms on either side of the tracks. The trees are dark and skeletal, their branches weighed down by the remnants of an early snowfall. Animal tracks crisscross the frost-covered ground, perhaps deer, foxes, or something else entirely. The forest is eerily still, save for the rhythmic clatter of train wheels and the distant caw of a lone bird. Beyond the woods, the Seine comes into view, a long, cold ribbon of water gliding silently past the town. The riverbanks, lively in warmer months, are now abandoned. Wooden punts and rowboats, once used by weekend revelers, now sit half submerged, filled with icy water. The air grows noticeably colder as you approach Poissy, a quiet town tucked against the river's edge. The train wasn't a small station where a few bundled figures stand waiting for the return train to Paris. The town itself is hushed beneath a blanket of snow, its streets lined with stone cottages and shuttered shops, their chimneys trailing thin wisps of smoke into the gray winter sky. As you step off the train onto the wooden platform, the cold air bites at your face, carrying the scent of wood smoke and distant cooking fires. The platform overlooks the town square, where passengers who have been warming themselves in the nearby cafe, restaurant of the Hotel des Rouen, now press onto the ramp, making their way toward the waiting train. Despite the chill in the air, Poissy bustles with life. The town has the atmosphere of an American frontier settlement, edged in by the dark brooding forest beyond. 3-story houses, a mix of medieval stone structures and newer brick buildings, line the cobbled streets. One particular grocery store profoundly displays a weathered sign reading Depuis 1420, a reminder of the town's long history. Gendarmes on horseback patrol the roads, their breath misting in the cold air. A few motor cars rumble past, the sound of their engines mixing with the creaking of wooden carts and the distant chime of a tram bell as it makes its way towards Saint-Germain-en-Laye. Overhead, the gray sky threatens snow, though none falls just yet. Make me a spot hidden roll.
Oh, I failed.
45.
Fail.
So you all fail?
Yeah, I definitely
You failed?
Yeah.
I failed.
I'm pretty sure I failed.
Glenn, why don't you make me a French language roll?
Mm, 19.
What's your skill?
And my skill is 33.
So, you see a sign that reads Pharmacie de la Gare, English chemist, near the hotel restaurant. You're the only one who can read this sign.
Yeah, I tell them I see the sign and I say the translation.
But yeah, it's the pharmacy. That's the first place that you see.
So, everybody. No, thanks. So, everybody. There's a sign that says that. What was it again?
Pharmacy.
The pharmacy. It says that there's a pharmacy. Well, the farm.
You got it.
Yeah. So I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
Inside, it is warm and fragrant with the scent of medicinal herbs and tonics. Monsieur Esperandieu, a thin, mustachioed man in his late 50s, looks up from his counter where he was measuring out a concoction into a dark glass bottle. Ah, visitors! He says in heavily accented but well-practiced English. How may I assist you? Are you in need of something for the court?
No, we need some information.
Oh?
Count Fenric. As in
He nods knowingly and leans in slightly, lowering his voice. You should speak with the town clerk at the Hotel de Ville, our town hall. It's
Okay.
not far. Just past the square. Gestures towards a stately stone building with a tall arched doorway. But, Fenric, you say? It is very old name, not often spoken in Poissy. I hope you are not shooting for ghosts, mes amis.
No, it's not that. It's something else.
But,
Not that we're wanting ghosts or any of that.
will you be needing any medicine?
No.
Perhaps a tonic for the road?
No, I don't think I need anything. I would like to ask that we're looking for some artifacts, actually.
Oh,
And-
treasure hunters.
Yes, really. That I think,
You could say.
yeah.
You could say.
And if there was something of interest from, say, back in, the late 1780s, is there any curators or a museum or anything here in this town where they might be kept, or?
Well, there are no museums in Poissy, but there are many in Paris. It depends what you are looking for. They have all kinds of strange museums. Have you heard of the Musée Fragonard?
No.
It is a museum, how can I say this? It is flayed men, statues, skins, humans. They have it closed currently, but I have been there, seen it myself. It's very strange.
Well, that's pretty interesting.
We might have what we're looking for. Didn't give us a clear description of that statue.
What did you see that was maybe the most outrageous while you were there in the museum?
Oh,
When you talk about skinless things and...
well, there's a horrifying sculpture. It almost looks like taxidermy. It is so convincing. It is of a man on his horse. It is the muscles and the bones underneath. No skin. It's very disturbing.
Okay.
Could have what we're looking for.
What about the...
We had some paintings there as well that weren't nearly as disturbing, but that's the thing that really stood out to me.
But there were paintings here in this museum that were...
Yeah, he was also a
Macabre.
painter, but not as... No, they weren't macabre. There's a... one that is of this beautiful woman on a swing.
Okay.
Does not feel at all in place with the rest of it.
Right. Well, what, maybe to be more specific, what we're looking for is pieces of evidence that were taken
from Confinic for as in of what we're specifically looking for as in of well, like a part of a statue that as in of we think is like parts are spread all across Europe, or not everywhere in Europe, but in some countries in Europe. As in of we're looking for parts of a statue that belonged to Confinic.
And was taken into evidence.
For as in of him to be, well...
I can only refer you to the town hall if you
The town hall, okay.
are curious about records of
Okay.
Confinic.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much. This
Yeah,
has
you're
been
most
most
welcome.
helpful.
Maybe
Thanks.
you come back and you buy something sometime.
Maybe.
Yes. You've been most helpful.
Well, enjoy the rest of your evening.
You too.
So you make your way to the Hotel de Ville, the town hall of Poissy. A sturdy, two-story structure with elegant but slightly weather-worn colonnades framing its porch entrance. The doors creak as you push them open, revealing an interior that is dimly lit and stiflingly bureaucratic. Inside, low wooden desks, stacks of yellowed papers, and filing cabinets line the walls. There are smells of old ink, dust, and the faintest whiff of stale tobacco. Officials in drab suits, all pale-faced men with pinched expressions, shuffle between rooms, engrossed in their work. The clerks, hunched over stacks of legal documents, barely look up as you approach. Make me another French language roll, Victor.
Oh boy.
Sure glad you speak French.
48.
And yours was what?
35.
35? When you inquire about the records from the Revolution, you are met with thinly veiled disdain. The officials barely hide their impatience, waving you off dismissively with irritated sighs and muttered phrases in rapid, clipped French. So you hear like snippets that you can make out. We do not waste time on trivial curiosities from foreigners. Their tone makes it clear, though. Without a fluent command of French or a native speaker, they have no intention of offering assistance.
Okay, well, I'm willing to use some persuasion.
All right, roll.
Yeah, I'm
Ralph
just gonna
on
think right now. on what I'll use.
20 and I got 70.
Huh!
It takes a great deal of persistence before one of the older clerks finally relents. He mutters something about says queenie abandonment jamais. I can't speak French at all. Those who never give up in French, and begrudgingly leads you to the archives.
We got into the archives. Okay.
Dust dances in the pale light, filtering through the high windows as the clerk hauls out a collection of old deeds and property titles from the 18th century. The scent of aging parchment fills the room as you begin the slow, methodical work of sifting through the delicate records. Hours pass as you pore over the cramped, archaic handwriting of Revolutionary-era clerks, struggling to decipher the elaborate script and official stamps. But at last you find it. An address of the former villa. With the address in hand, you set out once more, retracing your steps towards the station. The cold air bites at your skin as you navigate the winding streets, the town's history looming around you in stone and shadow. As you walk, your path takes you past a large, grim building, its thick stone walls and barred windows immediately marking it as a place of misery and confinement. This is the Maison d'Arrêt de Poissy, formerly the convent of the Ursulines. It is now a prison that houses political dissidents and criminals alike. A small crowd of wary-looking women and children huddle outside its iron gates, their breath visible in the frigid air. They wait in the cold, hands tucked beneath threadbare shawls, hoping for their brief ration time with loved ones locked within. A sharp cry echoes from within the walls, then silence. The waiting families do not react. Perhaps they have heard it too many times before. Pressing on, you reach the collegial Notre-Dame de Poissy, an ancient church built between 1130 and 1140 AD. Its weathered facade, adorned with worn carvings and thick-set towers, exudes an oppressive weight of time. You see inside a dim glow spills through the stained glass windows, casting cold patches of color over the ancient stone floor. The air smells of dust, melted wax, and the faintest trace of incense. Do you want to go inside and take a look out of curiosity?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
The most curious artifact here is the worn baptismal font of Saint Louis. It sits encased by a spiked iron barrier, its purpose as much to protect as to dissuade. Local legend whispers that scrapings from the front, when mixed with water, could cure fevers. Centuries of desperate hands have left the stone uneven and hollowed in places. Even in the solemn quiet of the church, something about the font's presence feels unwelcoming. But you eventually leave. Leaving the church behind, you pass through a weathered stone archway, its surface softened by centuries of rain and wind. Beyond it lies what once was the enclosure of the abbey of the Dominicanes, now reduced to lingering fragments of forgotten faith. As you step through, the modern world falls away. The cobbled streets narrow, the noise of the bustling town fades, and you find yourself surrounded by older houses and stately mansions, their tall gables and shuttered windows untouched by time. A large park stretches beyond, its age-old trees twisting skyward, their bare branches like skeletal fingers against the ashen sky. A hush falls over the world here, as though the town itself holds its breath. The feeling is unmistakable. You are walking in the past now. As you step through the gateway, past the remnants of the iron hinges that once held a grand entrance, you feel the weight of history pressing down on you. The air is crisp with winter's bite, and though the walls of the old estate still stand in part, they seem to lean inward, as if whispering secrets of what once was. The gnarled rose bushes, stripped of their blooms, claw at the stone, their tangled branches weaving a barrier unwelcoming as the chill in the air. Ahead, nestled where the Comte's villa once loomed, stands a modest two-storied brick house. Smoke curls from the chimney, twisting skyward into the dimming afternoon. I guess it's afternoon now. You slept at the hotel.
Okay.
Because you did arrive there in the evening, so
Okay.
you probably would have slept before going here.
Mm-hmm.
The golden glow from the windows spill onto the frosted path leading to the front door, promising warmth and life in stark contrast to the cold ruin that surrounds it. The scent of wood smoke and something faintly spiced lingers in the air, drifting towards you as you approach. The home is inviting, unassuming, so at odds with the dark history buried beneath it. The knowledge from your research lingers in your mind, sharpening the moment. This quiet, happy house, this place of laughter and light, was built upon the ashes of unspeakable horror. For now, all is peaceful. A gentle wind stirs the dry, curled leaves at your feet. From somewhere inside, the faint sound of a child's laughter drifts through the winter air. So what are you going to do now?
knock on the door,
Okay. You
Yeah.
knock.
introduce ourselves, and ask if we could ask them a little history.
I don't need. Don't paraphrase what you're saying. Just say it. But you're not talking to them yet, so hold on.
Okay.
I gotta figure out where I guess I didn't print out pictures for them. Oh well. So, Christian Lorian greets you with a mixture of caution and curiosity. He answers the door, his sharp eyes flicking between you as he takes in your explanation, which you can now give me.
Hello, I'm Louise Smith. I'm wanting to.
Oh, you're English.
Yes. Well, no, I'm really.
Well, no, it's like
German.
German. But
I'm
you
German.
speak English?
Yes, I speak English. Yes. I was wondering if I might bother you for a short period of time. We're on a fact-finding mission currently for my husband, Dr. Smith, and we're trying to locate some artifacts. And it is believed that the artifacts' initial presence started here at your property, and we were wondering if we might look at the ruins of the home that was once the Fenelick estate.
His expression is measured, but he nods, gesturing towards the kitchen. Coming out of the cold, whatever this is about, it sounds like it would make more sense over coffee.
Thank you.
So, as you step into the Lorian home, the warmth is immediate, chasing away the chill that clings to your coats. The scent of burning wood mingles with something sweet and spiced, perhaps remnants of a recently finished meal. The house itself is modest but comfortable, well lived in, with books stacked neatly on end tables and a low fire flickering in the hearth. He moves with the ease of a practiced host, settling a kettle on the stove and preparing cups as you settle around the worn wooden table. Quiteli, his 3-year-old daughter, stands by his legs, her large, curious eyes fixed on you. She clutches the hem of his coat, as if weighing whether or not you are worthy of her attention. I want all 3 of you to make me a luck roll. Or no, make me a appearance roll.
I got 52. And my appearance is 45 now.
I passed.
I failed.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 52.
31. And mine's
What'd you roll, Emma?
60.
I 55.
Now
And your app is terrible, I know that. Because you have that scar, hideous scar on your face.
Yes.
So-
Yes.
So after a moment, she makes her decision, and she toddles over to Florence, clambering onto her knee, with the confidence of a child accustomed to guests. "Tell me a story," she demands, peering up expectantly. And now all 3 of you can also make me spot hidden rolls.
Ooh, I failed.
94.
I got 92. That's 60, honey. 64. But your
You tricked
spot
me
hidden's only
again.
25, so you failed.
It tricked me again.
Uh-huh.
I'm a 34.
Luis, as conversation flows, you can't help but notice a deep, jagged scar running up the back of Christian's left hand, disappearing up his sleeve.
Well, this is interesting.
I usually get patients at this time of day, so I was surprised. Or I was not that surprised when you knocked on my door. I figured you needed help.
Well, and I do, of sorts.
I'm a doctor, you see. I guess I should explain that first.
I see.
And being one of the only doctors in this small town, it's not uncommon I get people coming around to my house.
Well, we do need help, but it's of a different kind.
When the coffee is poured and the conversation turns to your purpose, Christian listens carefully. You speak of the Sedefkar simulacrum and Count Benelek. And though his expression does not betray recognition, he rubs his chin thoughtfully. Sedefkar. He repeats it, rolling the word around in his mouth. Sedefkar. That name, it does sound familiar, but I can't place it. He hesitates, then he nods towards the stairs. Perhaps my wife will know. Veronique is the historian after all. She's resting now. His weather has aggravated her arthritis. But if she's awake, she might recall something.
She's a historian.
So
What
he
luck.
excuses himself and heads upstairs, leaving you with Quiteri, who seizes the opportunity to further command your attention. No! A real story!
Like scary stories?
Yeah, that's a good one.
You can tell her a scary story if you want.
Tell her the one story. Tell her.
So,
Tell her.
eventually, Christian Lorien returns from upstairs, holding a slightly crumpled letter in his hand. His expression is thoughtful as he settles back into his chair, laying the envelope down on the table before you. This arrived about 6 months ago.
Whoa.
We had no idea what to make of it, so we didn't reply, but life got busy, and well, to be honest, it seemed meaningless to us. But given what you've told me, perhaps you'll find it more interesting. He slides the letter across the table.
Oh.
It is addressed simply to the occupants of the house, and was postmarked in Switzerland. Lorien watches as you read it, sipping his coffee. It is written in clear, neat French as well. So,
To whom it may concern, I realize that I am a complete stranger and that this letter may well mean nothing to you. My name is Edgar Wellington, and I am researching the history of a statue known most commonly as the Sedefkar simulacrum. Wow. I recently came into possession of an old scroll which presents an intriguing description of the item. This piqued my interest, and I am now endeavoring to trace the simulacrum. My search has led me to your address. The name is probably meaningless to you. Through my researches, I have learned that the last recorded resting place of a piece of art was in the house that occupied your land in the late 18th century. The statue was a unique Arabian artifact lost during the events of 1789. Its last owner was a German nobleman who once lived where you live today. Please, I ask that if you have heard any local stories regarding this item, or maybe found any traces of the old house and its possessions on your land which might give a clue as to the eventual fate of the object, would you be so kind as to write to me with a summary of the information? I apologize for the rather strange nature of my request, but I feel that I should pursue whatever leads remaining to me. I hope that you will not go to any great length regarding this. Yours most sincerely, Edgar Wellington.
Lorien leads forward, resting his elbows on the table. I'm happy to let you copy whatever you need. The letter isn't addressed to us specifically, after all. But as I said, we never found anything. The land was bare when the house was built. There was nothing left of the old place. He exhales, glancing towards the stairs, where his wife is now resting. Still, if this Wellington fellow is chasing the same thing as you, perhaps you should seek him out.
Well, that is a good idea, and we will do that. But what we know for certain from documents that we've read is that the house that once stood here had a basement, and at the time these artifacts were removed, the house was torched and
Burned it down.
burned down to the ground, but there would still be in the basement of the original house, in a locked room, things that might be of interest to us, that might prove to be valuable.
Okay.
Have you researched your property? Have you dug around? Have you
No, like I said,
no
it was bare when we built the place.
no indentation, some low-lying, like something might have settled a little bit?
Nothing that
Nothing we
looks
have noticed.
even looks like that it was burned like a very long time ago.
No. It is fascinating, though. Perhaps there's something buried. I mean, there was nothing standing when we
Right.
came here.
Was there the gate outside and the driveway? Was there a driveway when you bought the place? A gate, an old gate, and a driveway?
It was overgrown, if there was. Whatever. There was just the remnants of the gate and some old remnants of walls, crumbling walls.
Okay. Because this house would have started at the end of, as you
Do
go
you
through.
have? It sounds like you need a map of the grounds. Quiteri fidgets, reaching out curiously towards the letter. In her excitement, she knocks against your arm, sending the cup of hot coffee sloshing over both your lap and her own small arm. For a moment, there is silence. Then a scream erupts from Quiteri, from her tiny frame, loud enough to shake the walls. It's as if she's been mortally wounded. Her shrill wails piercing the cozy warmth of the kitchen. The spilled coffee isn't scalding, but it's hot enough to cause a sharp discomfort. Christian jolts into action. Merde, Quiteri! He apologizes to you quickly before scooping up his daughter into his arms, gently shushing her as he strides towards the bathroom. From down the hall, you can hear him soothing her, his voice soft and reassuring. Shh, ma petite étoilée, let papa see. Sounds of water running follows. A few moments later, he calls back to you. It's nothing serious, just a little redness. Then his voice shifts, more intrigued than alarmed. That's peculiar. When he returns, Quiteri is still sniffling against her shoulder, her little fingers curled into the fabric of his shirt. He nods towards you and says, take a look at this. And he carefully lifts his daughter's small arm. There's a long, inflamed line of skin that runs along her left forearm, thin but distinct. Not the irregular blotch one might expect from spilled liquid. This is something else, almost like a scar. Orient frowns. I've never seen this before. He shakes his head and sighs, rubbing his forehead. Oh.
This isn't a normal.
Honestly, yeah, every year something happens. We've got to be more careful.
This isn't a normal room.
He sets Quiteri down and ruffles her curls, and then clears his throat, turning his attention to you. Well, that was excitement enough for the evening, wouldn't you say? And he offers an apologetic smile. You must be hungry after your travels. You're welcome to stay for dinner. Veronique will want to meet you. And perhaps you can tell us more about your research. Then after a brief pause he adds, in fact, if you don't have any other accommodations, you're welcome to stay the night. We have a spare room. It would save you from trudging back through the cold. He gestures to the window where the daylight is beginning to fade. What do you say?
Sure, thanks.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Thank you for your kindness.
So yeah, you stay for dinner. The rich aroma of roasted duck and simmering vegetables fills the cozy dining room as Christian Lorien sets the last dish onto the table. The fire crackles warmly in the hearth, casting flickering light over the modest but well-kept room. Plates are filled, wine is poured, and the meal begins in earnest. The food is excellent. Christian, it seems, is as talented in the kitchen as he is in the clinic. He smiles modestly when complimented, waving a hand as if to dismiss the praise. Oh, nothing special. Just a little skill picked up over the years. The doctor learns quickly that a good meal can be as healing as any medicine. Veronique joins you at the table a little later. She moves carefully, her left hand curled unnaturally from years of arthritis. Despite her condition, her expression is warm, and her wit sharp. She greets you all graciously, thanking you for keeping her husband company with your stories. As the conversation flows, you begin to take in more details of the home. It is comfortable, warm, and inviting, but something is missing. There are no religious icons, no crucifixes, no statues of saints, no framed prayers or holy images, as one might expect in a French country home. Given the shadow of the great Catholic Church looming nearby, the absence is noticeable. As the meal winds down and plates are cleared, Veronique, sipping her wine, turns to you with a pleased sigh. Tell me, do you enjoy the opera?
Yes. Very much so.
She brightens, clearly delighted at the topic.
We had the great pleasure of seeing Caterina Cavallaro last night at the Paris Opera House.
Christian chuckles, shaking his head.
I should say Veronique saw her. I spent half the performance admiring the ceiling.
His wife swats his hand playfully before turning back to you.
She was magnificent. Her voice filled the entire theater, soaring above the orchestra like something divine. If you ever have a chance to hear her, do not hesitate.
Talk of the performance carries the evening into a pleasant lull. Quiteri, exhausted from the day's excitement, had gone to bed early, leaving the adults to their conversation. The fire burns lower, the candlelight flickers, and the house settles into a comfortable rhythm. Christian stands, stretching.
Well, if you're staying the night, I fetch some extra blankets. It can get cold in these old walls.
I do have one last thing to ask.
Yeah?
We were at the pharmacy today, and the pharmacist said that there was someone that could maybe help us, and I've lost the name.
Well, I know the pharmacist personally, but I don't know.
I can't remember who it was. I didn't write it down.
I don't remember a name.
I don't either. I know we talked about a museum that had weird stuff.
Oh, the Fragonard Museum is what you're thinking of. That's what he was talking about. You asked about museums, and he told you about Musée Fragonard.
In Paris, yes, okay.
That has to be what you're thinking of.
Okay. Well, I'm curious about the little girl's arm. It almost sounds like, in the old days we call it blood poisoning. If you had, when I was in 9th grade, I had an injury.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody ever takes to the doctor, and slowly
Streaking up your arm.
it was going up my arm, and I knew that was, nobody at the house knew, but I knew that that was a sign that something was not right.
So,
So I'm curious as to what this is that caused that on her arm, and he's a doctor, and he didn't notice it until just right then.
so at some point, the talk turns back to your goal.
Yes, of finding those,
And, yeah.
remnants
If
of.
the foundation still exists, there might be a cellar underneath. Perhaps even remnants of the old structure.
That's good because, well, there was a basement that did have the statue that we're looking for. That apparently a French soldier broke with the stock of their musket, and yeah.
And those pieces were relegated to go as evidence.
And as in also another thing, Count Fenalik, which yeah, he was like his bones broke, and it was like his
And this was all in the...
everything in his body was connected to
You
that
read
statue.
all of this in the journal?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a journal of a French soldier, an old French soldier.
Christian is already thinking of where you could begin looking. Well, Veronique ponders whether any local records might confirm the presence of the underground chamber. And then, a scream. High, shrill cry rips through the house. From upstairs, everyone freezes. Quiteri comes bounding down the stairs, her small face contorted with fear, tears streaking her cheeks. Veronique is on her feet in an instant, gathering her daughter into her arms. "Maman! Maman!" Quiteri sobs, clutching at her mother's dress. "I saw a boogeyman at my window!" Christian quickly moves to his daughter's side,
Boogeyman, what boogeyman?
concern knitting his brow.
What did you see, ma petite?
Quiteri sniffles, her eyes darting between the adults.
A man! Outside my window!
Okay, yep.
He was watching me!
Veronique smooths the child's wild curls and kisses her forehead.
Shh, darling! It was just a bad dream.
Still, you all exchange uneasy glances. Christian sighs, running a hand through his hair.
Oh, it's impossible. No one could climb up the side of the house just to stay onto the window.
His voice is reassuring, logical, but the crease of his brow betrays unease. He lifts Quiteri into his arms, gently bouncing her.
Come now. Let's get you back to bed. No more scary stories before sleep,
As he carries his daughter back upstairs, her little arms looped around his neck, and you notice that the mark on her arm is as livid as when it first appeared. Veronique lingers at the table, gently rubbing her own bent fingers. She looks to you, her earlier enthusiasm now tinged with concern.
Oh, she has such an imagination.
The mood in the room has changed. The mystery of the old house suddenly feels a little closer. The shadows outside a little darker. Is there anything else you want to ask them before you go to bed?
Well, your wife, you had said, is a historian. What type of history does she get herself involved with?
Oh, well, I studied ancient Rome for a time. The catacombs under Paris were originally built by the Romans.
We've been there.
Yeah,
Oh.
we have. And
I have not had the pleasure, or displeasure, of going to the catacombs myself. But yes, there are many ancient ruins left
Yeah.
behind by the Romans around Paris.
yeah, there was like a little.
I find them
story.
deeply fascinating. That is my
Well, I don't
main
know if I should
interest in
mention that
history.
strange creature.
Well, it was most fascinating and most disturbing.
There was
To
a
be there.
strange thing in the catacombs.
Oh, well,
A
that
creature.
sounds horrible.
But anyways, we can talk about that a different time.
Yes.
Oh,
Enough scary stories have been told tonight.
Yeah.
well, this is like the jackpot of all jackpots. Sidebar note.
Well, I'm getting quite tired. I think I'm going to go up and go to sleep.
I'll try to.
We begin searching in the morning. See if we can find anything.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
I need a luck roll.
For who?
Whoever has
Everybody?
everyone, I guess.
Okay. Oh yeah, also remember my PTSD from as in of while I was in the Great War?
Yeah.
I got 11.
Nice.
No. I have a really good idea since I said of that PTSD. And like I'm guessing that room has multiple beds. As in like we're all gonna be sleeping in that room.
Right.
PTSD activate. No! No!
You're gonna need to make me. Well, I don't know. I don't know what I would do for that.
Yeah, Noah, what about like I just have to like randomly wake up at one moment and like just kind of relive that moment.
If you are gonna sleep in the room with him, make me a sanity check.
Okay. Well, I guess I kind of have to, so. 11.
Alright, you pass. So you get away with it tonight. You wake up a few times in the middle of the night, freaked out, but.
Yeah, no. I would
And you're
like
very
it
tired the
if
next
I
morning.
was. Yeah, I would like it if at least like once I would just like relive that moment during one of my sleeping. During while I was sleeping. I would just kind of like it as that. Because, you know, like, the sanity check, but also that we're, like, during in one of my dreams, I get a nightmare, as in of, you know, from my PTSD from the Great War. Whenever one of my comrades during training was shot.
In bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right next to me. And it's still unknown to this day on who shot that person.
Okay, yeah. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah. Please do that. No. I really want that to happen. It's just a cool idea. As in referring to my PTSD, or my character's PTSD.
Oh, that's a good one.
Glenn's telling me he wants to have a PTSD mental break.
Oh.
And have a nightmare about it.
Out of context, like my character wouldn't like it, but as in of like.
He had a real
Out
bad
of
night sleeping in that room
context.
with you guys because of his phobias.
Oh no.
Well, no, not that. Or more of because my PTSD from during the Great War.
Well, you have a phobia of sleeping with people, remember?
Yeah.
In the same room as you, so.
Yeah, in
You
that
had
game.
to fight that phobic urge to flee all night.
Yeah. Plus the PTSD from that.
Okay, so you passed, and did you pass your luck roll?
I did. Flying colors.
So, as the morning sun filters through the bare branches, the air carries the crisp scent of earth and frost. The Lorians, bundled against the winter chill, stand with you near the remnants of the old estate wall. Using the old gate as a marker, you begin measuring out distances to try and get some idea of where the building would have once stood and try and locate the entrance to the cellar. But you don't have any maps or any plans or anything, so you have to just kind of dig randomly, and it takes you 7 hours
Yeah.
of searching
Yeah.
before you're at this spot near the base of a massive oak tree. The gnarled roots snake through the frozen ground, their grip on the land unyielding. Here, beneath nearly 2 feet of packed earth and blackened brick, lies the first step of the old cellar staircase. So you get to digging. It takes you 7 hours just to find this thing. And then you start actually excavating. And the Lorians are very excited by this find.
Yes.
It's all very fun for them. The winter ground fights you every inch of the way. Earth hard as stone, and the remnants of Fenwick's long-dead mansion create a back-breaking obstacle. Christian rolls up his sleeves and joins in with surprising vigor, while Veronik brings out warm drinks to keep everyone's spirits up. Quitoi, despite being bundled up in a thick coat and scarf, watches from a safe distance, cheering your efforts when the shovels strike something solid. Hour after hour passes. The midday sun does little to warm the air, but the work keeps you sweating. By late afternoon, the ruins surrender their secret. 18 worn stone steps descending into darkness. At the very bottom, buried beneath years of rubble, an old steel door waits.
Here it is.
Time has not been kind to it. The frame is bent with age, its hinges rusted into immobility. Even worse, fallen bricks press against it, wedging it into place. Christian exhales sharply, wiping sweat from his brow.
Yes, that door hasn't been opened in 100 years. It won't yield without a fight.
So-
Or unless we do something to those hinges.
I need whoever. I
What's
guess
the highest strength?
whoever has the highest strength, give me a hard strength roll.
I have 55.
40.
How much do you have?
I've got 65.
How did you...
Is that the high?
You're strong for...
That's crazy.
Yeah, you're strong
Grandma.
for
Old
grandma.
lady's got that iron grip.
Well, probably because of Mark.
6. No, 9. 9.
Dang. That's definitely a pass then.
Yep.
Sheesh.
We need it to get through that door.
Woo!
So chains and crowbars are brought out.
Ooh.
The first attempt does little but send rust flaking off in clouds of red dust. With a grim determination, you wedge the crowbars deeper, straining against the weight of time itself. The wind has begun to rise, cutting through your coats and howling through the exposed stairwell like a warning. With one final concerted effort, the metal groans, the bricks shift, and then, with a shriek of protest, the door gives way, peeling open just enough to let the cold breath of the underground seep out. The dark within is absolute. The last dying rays of sunlight do not reach past the threshold. A heavy scent rolls out damp stone, old decay, and something deeper. Something that does not belong. Christian exhales.
Oh, Ed,
It smells disgusting.
we found it.
Found it.
Half exhilarated, half apprehensive. The question now is, who steps inside first? Victor?
All right. And I'm behind you, Victor.
You step into the darkness beyond the rusted door. This is two-sided. This is the house, and the other side is the catacombs beneath it.
The house. The catacomb. Oh wait, it's
This is the
the
house.
catacombs.
So that's what you're exploring right now. It's underground.
The house.
You're fun. Oh yes, we recognize. Oh my.
You step into the darkness beyond the rusted door.
This is great.
Christian hands you lanterns. Your lanterns cast flickering beams across the rough-hewn walls, illuminating a passage that stretches into the bowels of the earth. The foundation of Fenwick's mansion was made by skilled masons. Despite their age, the walls remain solid,
Oh
unyielding to time.
wow. A bunker.
But nature has found its way in. Thick roots press through the joints in the stonework, bloated and pale like something drowned. They coil and twist throughout the passageway, making the floor uneven and treacherous in places. Make me spot hidden roll.
51.
I passed.
Is that a pass? Fail?
Fail.
Yours is 81.
I'm good. I'm good.
Woo.
Just
Okay.
about barely.
You step carefully,
What's this?
realizing with a creeping unease that each exposed root splits into a 5-way juncture, like skeletal hands grasping in the darkness.
Oh, that is creepy.
The first room appears along the passage, doorways yawning open into deeper shadows. Your initial expectation of storerooms or forgotten wine racks is quickly shattered. Each chamber is a cell. Some doors remain bolted shut, but through the iron peepholes you glimpse the skeletal remains of those who inhabited those stone tombs.
Oh, yeah.
The sight is grim. Shattered bones, rusted manacles. Still encircling, wrists long turned to dust. In one chamber, a skeleton is slumped against the wall, a heavy chain still wrapped around its ankle. It died waiting. Further in, the cells give way to something worse. Larger rooms emerge from the gloom, their contents frozen in time like a nightmare preserved in stone and iron. Torture racks, rusted cages, and iron-spiked chairs stand as mute testaments to the horrors that unfolded here. Bones litter the ground, some piled in corners, others still chained to the instruments of their suffering. In one chamber, a chaise lounge sits facing a monstrous wooden rack. The upholstery has long since rotted away, but its placement is unmistakable. This was no mere prison. Someone long ago watched these torments as one would an evening's entertainment. A few paces beyond, you halt before another sight, a pair of skeletons shackled together. The larger figure still clutches the other in a grotesque embrace, the smaller form draped in the tattered remnants of a bridal veil. The image is stark, the story clear. Some suffered alone in these depths, others were condemned together. And you can all make me sanity checks.
$74.
Oh,
I failed.
I failed.
I failed.
Okay, so because you all three have already read this in the diary, I'll
Yeah.
say you only lose one each.
Since we already kind of expected this.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's still disturbing to look at.
Yeah, especially now, face to face.
And, yeah, all grotesque and decayed and all that.
It is only as you step deeper that you notice it. The dim glow ahead. A faint, almost spectral light spills from the final chamber,
Oh my god.
seeping out into the hall like a silent invitation. You exchange wary glances before pressing forward, lanterns raised high. Do any of you have a navigate skill?
Anybody?
No.
No.
Crap. I don't think I have a navigate skill.
No.
Well,
It's got 10 as a...
make me intelligence rolls then.
Okay.
pass.
58.
26.
10.
As you reach the threshold, a realization settles over you. The room ahead sits directly beneath the outer wall, the very edge of Fenwick's domain. The glow emanates from within, pulsing faintly against the stone like a dying breath. Something waits for you in the darkness. Your lanterns cast long, flickering shadows as you step into the final chamber. The air is heavy, humid, and sickly sweet, with an unnatural floral scent that turns your stomach rather than soothes it. The glow you glimpsed from the hallway is stronger here, but its source is nothing you could have expected. Before you, roses of impossible color bloom in the darkness. Aquamarine petals shimmer against violet blossoms, while grotesque orange and grass-green flowers sway gently as though caught in an unseen current. These roses do not grow from the earth, nor from any ordinary vine. Instead, they cling to the cavern walls in a tangle of thick, glistening tendrils, black as tar, slick with some foul ichor that oozes from the cruel, barbed thorns.
Probably from the fire.
Remember the flowers
Well,
or
they're slick.
the roses?
They're not dried up and burned.
Yeah, but wait a minute.
They're
The
like
vines,
it's
you
like tar.
said,
The vines, yeah, like slick black tar,
So that couldn't
dripping
be the fire.
ichor, foul
What?
liquid substance drips from the vines.
Okay.
Then you see them. The dead have not been left to rest. The vines have grown through their remains, weaving through rib cages, curling around femurs, forcing their way through open mouths and empty eye sockets. The bones, bent and twisted, have been drawn into unnatural poses, some stretched skyward as though in supplication, others contorted into expressions of agony. The roses bloom from within them, feeding off whatever unspeakable corruption lingers here. The entire chamber is a grotesque garden of torment, a final masterpiece of cruelty cultivated by something beyond human comprehension. And at its base, half buried in the tangle of thorns and bone, lies the source of the glow. A single arm, severed cleanly at the shoulder, rests amid the writhing roots. It is unmistakably human in form, yet eerily smooth, like polished china. It glows faintly, casting a cold luminance across the vile roses. Though it should be lifeless, you can feel its presence, pressing against the edge of your mind like a whisper, just beyond hearing. The left arm of the Sedefkar simulacrum.
Whoa, we
And I
found the first piece.
I need sanity from all of you.
Oh
Oh,
my
come
gosh. See, but remember,
28 passed.
40!
24. Remember, though,
You all lose one.
Okay.
lose one sanity.
Again.
Again, that's right.
Again and again.
See, remember he ordered the soldiers to pick up every piece.
But they accidentally left one behind.
Man.
Beep, beep.
Even without touching it, you understand. The thing has been here for over a century,
Yep.
And
Warp.
I'm not gonna touch it with my own hands.
warping the very land, twisting the natural into something grotesque. The roses, the vines, the tormented dead, they are all its work. A sudden drip echoes in the chamber. A bead of black ichor slides from a thorn and splashes onto the statue's arm. The liquid hisses as it touches the smooth surface, eaten away instantly as though the arm itself rejects the corruption around it. The air in the chamber is heavy, waiting. The arm is yours to take, if you dare.
Yeah, no, what? Okay, does anybody
We
have
dare.
something?
That's our mission, man.
And it is, you
Yeah,
have to
but
get
we
past
need to get
these
something.
vines.
Yeah, the vines are going to be treacherous. The roses, the thorns.
Oh,
Oh, good grief. Do we know of any potion? Any?
no,
We haven't come
this is
across-
not D&D.
Huh?
This is not D&D.
Oh, I don't know anything about that.
It's not a fantasy world.
No,
with
I know.
magic and
I'm talking about
health potions
something
and
that.
magic potions.
But that
But I know.
used the wrong word.
A
Do we know of something that we haven't thought of for a while? That's what I'm trying to come up with. Is there a? Yeah, because how the heck are we going to get it?
Proper gear.
So,
Oh,
if Kyle, we'll just assume Kyle's character's there because he has two swords, or that he lent you a sword. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not in that.
Because I don't think. Well, I guess you have a knife that you could use.
Wait, I should.
You have a Minecraft dagger,
Oh yeah. So I'm
so you're not without a way to cut the vine.
me.
All right. So you take your knife, you go to work.
Eh.
Your blade bites into the thick pulsing vines. Okay, Victor. All right. Each stroke parting the unnatural growth has choked this chamber for over a century. The black ichor drips and oozes. The sight of it, thick and glistening like tar, turns your stomach, and it starts to cover you as you're cutting these vines. Every cut sends a tremor through the floral mass, the roses shuddering as though in protest. The perfume of the blossoms, once overwhelming, now carries the bitter tang of decay, a forewarning of what is to come. You work with methodical care, avoiding the cruelly barbed thorns, knowing that even a single prick could carry unseen danger. Now, give me a dex roll.
Dexterity?
Yes.
001.
Wow.
Critical.
Yeah, you don't get touched by a single barb. 20 long minutes pass before the last of the vines are severed enough for you to reach through safely. You're gonna grab the arm.
Why not?
The moment your hand grasps the left arm of the Sedefkar simulacrum, the chamber seems to exhale. The glow fades instantly. A slow rot overtakes the roses, the vibrant colors dulling to wilted gray, then crumbling to dust. The vines loosen and collapse, their once writhing tendrils falling still and lifeless. The corruption, stripped of its source, begins to wither away. Then, a new sensation, cold. A thin mist unfurls from the base of the roses,
Oh no.
coming from the ceiling above,
Not again. Not again. Not again.
curling low to the ground before twisting unnaturally through the air. It swirls around your feet, rising up and filling the chamber with an eerie, creeping fog.
Gotta get the hell out of there.
The air turns frigid. The unnatural chill bites at your skin, sinking deeper into your bones. Your vision blurs as the mist thickens, swirling faster, wrapping around you until the chamber is nothing but cold, white nothingness. Then, just as suddenly as it appeared, the mist rushes away, flowing out of the room like an unseen tide, up through the cellar door.
Just like that.
Oh
It's
no,
down.
not again.
That's
Not
why
again.
you're saying not again. I get that now. Okay, thank you.
The chamber is silent once more. In your hand, the arm is smooth and cool. Too cool. Even in the winter air. Its surface is featureless at first glance, but as you turn it in the dim light, a repeating pattern emerges. The ceramic seems etched with the faintest impression of arms.
Nope.
Endless, interwoven, twisted in ways that make the mind recoil. It is yours now. And outside, beyond the ruins of this prison, night has fallen. And you each get to recover 1 d4 sanity for finding the left arm.
1d4.
3. So yeah.
And if I survive through the Great War, I can handle it. Or I should be able to handle it.
Christian Morian stands in the doorway of the cellar, staring down into the abyss beneath his home. His face is pale, his expression caught between horror and disbelief. He sways slightly as if his mind cannot reconcile the warm, inviting home he built for his family with the monstrous truth hidden beneath it.
No doubt.
His breath is shallow, his hands clenched into trembling fists. Veronique steps forward, placing a gentle hand on his arm.
Obviously not as bad as the hydrogen gas.
"Christian," she whispers, her voice thick with emotion. When he does not respond, she pulls him into an embrace, holding him tightly, as though grounding him in the present, in the life they have built together. He exhales a shuddering breath and buries his face in her shoulder. "I chose this place.
Not knowing the past.
I brought
of
you
it.
here. I brought Quittery here.
What'd you say?
Not knowing the past of it.
No.
You didn't know. No one could have known.
But he just shakes his head.
I should have seen it, felt it. I'm a doctor, for God's sake. And all this time, we've lived above.
His voice trails off, unable to finish the thought.
Obviously that gas wasn't as bad as hydrogen gas.
Veronique pulls back slightly, cupping his face in her hands, her fingers moving with greater ease. A silence stretches between them, heavy with the weight of what must be done. Christian straightens, his resolve hardening.
We must inform the authorities. The dead must be given the dignity they were denied. The church, the state, Whoever it takes. This cannot remain buried any longer.
Veronique nods, gripping his hand tightly.
When it's done, we will go on. We will raise Quittery here, free.
Takes a deep breath, then exhales slowly, finally looking back at you.
Thank you
Though his voice still carries the weight of grief.
for uncovering this, for showing us the truth.
You're welcome. Man, but that gas in there was...
Did you find that arm of a statue? What is that?
part of the statue that we were talking about.
I don't
earlier.
want to look at it. It disturbs me for some reason.
Yeah.
I can't explain it.
Not as bad as... Well, that gas in there was at least not as bad as hydrogen gas.
That's right.
That hydrogen
We
gas.
saw some sort of mist come from underneath, but it didn't seem like gas to us.
Oh.
It didn't smell like hydrogen.
Yeah, I know, but
Well, I guess I don't
just
think it has
saying.
a scent. I don't think it does, actually.
no, it doesn't. I mean as in of what it does.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Moving on.
Well, this
So,
was a
when did
big
you
deal.
take up chemistry in your university studies?
He knows all about it.
I know what hydrogen
He
gas
does.
is because of war knowledge.
Yeah, okay.
See?
The Germans made it, and it was used in World War I and sometimes in World War II.
Okay.
But in World War II, mustard gas was more popular.
Gotcha.
You make the best partner in these things. I love it.
Maybe you should have played a historian.
Ooh, maybe next life.
You gather your belongings, making sure the left arm of the Sedefkar simulacrum is safely wrapped and secured before stepping out of the Lorien home for the last time. The cold air bites at your skin as you turn back to see Christian and Veronique standing at their door. Quitteries nestled in her mother's arms, waving her tiny hand with a bright smile. Despite the horrors unearthed beneath their home, the Loriens stand resolute, determined to reclaim the peace that was nearly stolen from them.
Take care, and may you find what you seek.
We could not have done it without you.
Yeah.
You are, we are ever indebted to you. And if there's ever a time that you need our help in anything, you don't hesitate to get a hold of us.
Yeah.
Veronique nods, pulling her shawl tighter around her shoulders.
And if ever you need to return to Passy, our door is open.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes.
Man, this is heavy.
It is, isn't it? I mean, this is getting good.
With final farewells exchanged, you step out into the crisp morning air, your path leading back through the quiet town. The journey to the station feels strangely surreal, the memory of the twisted skeletal vines and their unnatural roses lingering in your mind as you pass through the streets of Plessy. The imposing walls of the Maison d'Orient loom over you once more as you make your way back towards the train platform. Its cold stone facade is forbidding as ever. At the Gare de Poissy, the station is alive with the usual bustle of travelers, a stark contrast to the desolation of Fenwick's cursed cellar. You board the train back to Gare de Lyon, finding your seats as the locomotive lets out a sharp whistle. As the train pulls away, you watch Plessy slip into the distance, swallowed by the frost-covered trees of the Forêt de Saint-Germain. The rhythmic motion of the train is almost soothing, the wheels clacking against the tracks like a heartbeat. Through the window, countryside unfolds in shades of gray and white. Bare trees clawing at the sky, fields lying dormant beneath a thin veil of snow. The journey back to Paris is uneventful, but your thoughts remain restless. The weight of what you carry presses against you. The arm, the knowledge of Fenwick's atrocities, and the understanding that this is only the beginning. The Sedefkar simulacrum is scattered across Europe, its malevolent influence lying dormant, waiting to be pieced together. You have only just begun to gather the fragments, and already its power has warped the world around you. The train slows as Gare de Lyon comes into view, the towering iron and glass structure looming over the busy platform. Porters rush to assist passengers, whistles blow, and the scent of coal smoke thickens in the air. As you step off the train, the city swallows you once more. Chaos of Paris is stark contrast to the eerie stillness of the catacombs and Fenwick's prison. There is no time to linger. The search must continue. And that's probably where we're going to end up for today.
Wow.
After I check one thing here.
Okay, one down.
My gosh.
One piece down. Like 5 more to go, I think.
Yeah, I can't remember how many pieces were there.
I think that there was 5, maybe. How many pieces are there?
6, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Each limb, the head, the torso.
Okay.
5, 6.
So
okay.
as in of 2 separate legs.
1,
Yes,
2,
uh-huh.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
Okay, so we have 1 out of 6 pieces of the statue. Also, that battle of, like the French Revolution battle, it was pretty cruel.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah.
So Vienna, I have down Vienna, Italy, Bulgaria, Belgrade maybe,
Do you have a folder somewhere near you?
Milan,
Germany?
Italy. I think it's over. It's over here.
What is it?
here. Yeah, it's right here. I was hoarding all the clues.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Let's go. Here's the. I really like this one. I like them all, but I really like this one. And boy, we didn't waste any time getting to the clues either. I think we were really.
Yeah, but also in like the fight in this house.
Yeah.
This is what you always need to fall back to.
And like this house during while the fight of Count Fenwick's house, like the raid. I'm surprised by how fast I figured out that we needed to just destroy the statue.
Yeah, I was surprised too. And
Yeah.
Kind of ruined something I planned on doing, but oh well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it would take you at least a whole round to figure that out.
But nope, immediately.
I mean, gosh, yeah. I have
What
this
were you
whole
planning
thing.
on doing?
Oh man, I'm gonna have to. I can't tell you, unfortunately, because I might still be able to use it.
I'm gonna put this in here and then I'll.
You ready to go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, let me end the recording here.